I just wake up in the morning and I yell a lot, even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up. Good morning and welcome back to another episode of Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life. I'm John Greaves III. I'm the co-founder of Garage Gym Life. This is your first time checking out the show. I appreciate you giving us a chance and to help you get your weekend started off the right way. So once again, welcome. Do me a favor, and if this is your first time watching the show, I need you to not only hit the like button, like every other channel on YouTube always asks you to, but hit like and also hit subscribe if you haven't already done so. And then if you are watching on replay, shout out to the replay gang. And this is something that I need to do a much better job of doing, which is you guys don't know how big a help it is if you guys hype this video. So like the video if you're watching live or on replay, subscribe if you haven't done so, and then if you're watching on replay, do me a favor and hype the video so we can get the word out there to more people to let them know that this is out there, and also because it helps YouTube know that this is the kind of stuff that you want to see more of on YouTube. Before we go any further, let's go ahead and add the person who most of you are actually here to see. I'm just like I'm the co-star, I guess, So let's go ahead and add my lovely wife Naomi to the stage. First, we got to play her song.
Good morning, everybody.
Hey, hey,
Going.
All right, so we made it. We made it through another week. I wasn't sure about yesterday, but we made it. We made it.
Yes. Well, as Lisa says, 1% better than the day before.
Hey, that's right. Hey,
yes.
there is a lively conversation going on in the live chat, but before we go there, go ahead and let everybody know what is on the menu and what they can expect from today's show.
Sure. All righty. So, morning, everybody. So at 6:05 Eastern Time, it's going to be news and other things with me. And what we're going over is new releases from Bells of Steel, Synergy Custom Fitness, and Force 6 Fitness. Then also we're going to go over Home Gym Away from Home update. And then at the 6:45 hour is Recliner of Rage, everybody's favorite segment. And John's mad again, and we'll find out why. Then at the 7 o'clock hour, we're going to go over Curl Timber is coming. Also channel news and Shopify store updates. And then at the 8 o'clock hour, so 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, John is checking in with Sean and Madison, the husband and wife team behind Mythic, and gets their thoughts on their debut at HomeGymCon 2026. And then finally, to wrap up the show, what John learned this week.
All right. So now you guys know what's going on. Today we got a pretty cool show. Some of it is like behind the scenes stuff, but before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and see who is in the live chat. And I encourage all of you guys to do what everybody else in the live chat's already doing, and that is post your questions and comments in the chat so that we know, we know what you think about all of the topics that we're going to be bringing up. So go ahead and throw questions and comments in there. I know I got it. There we go. All right. Oh, no, I forgot. We can't put that up there because it's going to be in front of you. And I don't want people seeing your admiration if as you're looking at my rear end. See how her face changed right there. See that? See how she's giving me the eye. Yeah, we got this is a family show now. It's a family show now. I mean, I can't have people seeing how you look at me when they. All right, so let's see. First person in the building that's right, Carlos. He said watching up. So I assume that means waking up. He said waking up way too early gives you superpowers. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Okay, I'll go for that. I'm not sure what the superpower is. But I'll take it. I'm here for superpowers.
Mhm.
Let's see. Trevor says first, although he wasn't first. That's a common theme.
There we go.
Look,
There we go.
man, if in your mind you were first, my man, hey, I'm not here to argue with you about it. All right, I like it when people feel fulfilled. Let's see here. Jared says good morning.
Morning, Jared.
We're gonna pause at this very moment because Jared, I did not realize this video was out there, and then I went on Facebook because I was posting the stuff we're selling on Facebook
Mhm.
Marketplace. So I made my weekly trip to Facebook, and I really wish it could be a monthly trip, by the way. But anyway, so I made my weekly trip to Facebook, and I see this video, and it made me smile all over again. And with the week I was having, this came in right on time. So I'm just gonna play it right now, right there.
Okay.
This.
What's up, my man? You got one too. What's up, man? Thanks for coming to see me.
Oh,
Yeah, so that was Jared and Lindsay's kids. I believe that was Theo, and I want to say that was Wyatt.
the youngest one.
No, it was Tanner, because I remember he said it's Theo, Tanner, and Wyatt in that order, in
Mhm.
age order. So it's probably Theo and Tanner that I hugged. But yeah, like I said, it's not a competition. I just want everyone to know that Jared's kids only hugged me. Okay, they didn't hug.
Oh my
They didn't hug
gosh.
Kayvon. They didn't hug anybody else at the Bells of Steel booth. I didn't see them hugging anybody else at HomeGymCon. So I'm just saying
Wow.
it's not a competition. But they hugged me and they didn't hug you. All right, that's all I'm saying. All right, they
Wow.
ain't hugged none of y'all. It's not a competition. It's not important. Let's not even talk about it. Forget I even brought it up. Let's
That's the
see.
one that brought it up.
Yeah, forget I even brought it up. Not even really important. I don't even know why I brought it up.
Uh-huh.
All right. Anyway, Letha said, wakey, thank God it's Friday. Yeah, amen.
Morning,
Let's get
Lisa.
this party started. Yes.
And again, shout out happy birthday to Lakili. Hope you had a wonderful birthday.
That's right. Happy birthday, Lakili. That is Letha's daughter, and we are fans. We are fans. Sean said, I'm here for the Mythic team, took the crispy bacon and left the cannoli. Oh wow. Okay.
Well, first of all, why you leave the cannoli? The cannoli stuff is
I like
amazing.
how you couldn't even say cannoli without doing this.
Sorry.
That's hilarious. That's funny
I
right
mean,
there.
it's still, it's like, how you gonna leave the cannoli? It's just,
I mean,
and it's hard to find a really good cannoli, by the way. It's
I lived a significant portion of my life before I ever had cannoli. So I mean, it feels like something you can live without.
no.
I was thriving.
I mean, again,
I
that
thrived.
was, and
I just
there's
I was
something about a good cannoli. So
I mean, it's all right. I was thriving though. Let's see here. Carlos said a strange box showed up on my patio. I think I know who it's from. Hey, well, did you open the box or is it still out there?
this one.
I mean, yeah. I'm over here. I'm over here.
That's what I pointed at.
No, you're not. You're pointing away from me. I'm on the other side. I promise.
On my screen, you're to the left of me.
Okay, when you pointed, did you see? Well, on my screen, you're pointing at the door or Mystique.
Well, Mystique's right here. So
Okay, well, see, now you just pointed at me. There you go. Okay. On the screen, I am.
oh, you have me vertical on your screen.
Yeah. So to everybody watching, to all 1,096 people around the world, I'm on your right.
Gotcha. On my screen, you're on my left. So.
Only you see that, but it's okay. Welcome to Behind the Scenes with the Greaves
Behind the
family.
scenes. Yep.
Anyway, so yeah, Carlos, I hope you like it. As I told you earlier this week, you're gonna get more than one strange box on your patio or wherever the FedEx delivers, or whatever.
Oh boy.
But yeah, I hope you enjoy your presents, man. Happy birthday again. Brian says, morning.
Morning, boo.
He's signed up for a competition, by the way, in October. So we're gonna be heading down to check that out.
Yep, definitely.
Carlos said, no, May. And then he says, oh, hey, Otis or John. See, this is exactly why I talk to Carlos the way I do. This is exactly why. Good morning, B. She says, good morning, Naomi and John and everybody
B.
too. Hey, hope you guys are recovering in there in Chicago from all the weather and stuff. And let's see here. Trevor said, I'm telling you, it's a conspiracy to stop me from repping the floppy bacon crew. We will cover that.
I'm going to tell you right now. Again, yesterday, what got John out of the funk was grandkiddos that have shown up. Because it was one pile on top of another pile on top of another pile that this man was dealing with yesterday. While I was at work, I'm just hearing and seeing, and one of the things that dealing with was Team Floppy Bacon. So,
well, t-shirts in general, but
yes, yeah. So that's going to be in the 7 o'clock hour with the updates. So we're going to stay on track. We're staying on track
for now.
So.
Kevin says, hello, everybody. Mr. Smith is here. Hello. Kevin, I actually watched a video yesterday. It's one of those faceless AI videos on YouTube. I didn't realize it was until I was already watching it. And I said, oh, my goodness, I'm watching it. I hate those, by the way, where they do like the AI voiceover and they show you just random stuff that may or may not be related to the video. But it was talking about 16 shoulder exercises that from before cable machines were invented. And I was like, oh, this is actually like right up my alley, because that's the kind of stuff. So they talked about like the Bradford press, so it's the Bradford press, the true military press. That's basically your heels are together, like you're standing at attention. And then Larry Scott's dumbbell shoulder press. And I was like, this is all stuff in my, so I came this close to sending it to you until I realized it was one of those AI videos. And I said, I'm not sending it that. Otherwise, I'd have sent it to you because I know you're a Team Smith machine. So it's basically a collection of exercises you can't do on the Smith machine. That's how it relates to you. But have no fear. I'll figure out something and send it to you, and send something to you anyway that's in that same wheelhouse. Oh, look at this guy saying, what is curl timber? Harry, we got to get the word out. So yeah, we'll be talking about that. You just got to stay awake. Yeah, stay awake, Evan. Fight the sleep. Sean said, I won't make too many jokes about how Sean from Mythic misspells his name. I want to say that's a Celtic thing about why there's so many spellings for Sean. Yeah, I think that's a Celtic thing because I just caught my English major about to nerd straight out. But
you're getting ready to have him go down the rabbit hole.
Basically, it's the same reason why our last name is spelled multiple ways, because it's just it was regional. They spelled it however they felt like, because a lot of people weren't literate. So then, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Okay.
I deal with this every day. Oxford comma.
We don't do Oxford comma.
Yeah.
He says, since you said ember, I'm assuming it's almost December and it's time to put up the tree. I'm actually surprised you don't have the tree up already, because Kevin is a Filipino, and in the Filipino culture, the Christmas tree is up most of the year, and they take short breaks to take it down for other reasons. Then they put it right back up. So, I mean, I'm sure if you don't have it up right now, I'm sure your family is extremely disappointed in you, Kevin, because, yeah. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Okay. Letha says she got her package yesterday. So the stuff we sent her, awesome. Perfect. I'm glad that you got it. Awesome. I remember we had talked about it when I actually went to, so what it is a rig step. So, well, actually, no.
Wait a minute. You just said that yesterday, did you not?
Yeah, it was supposed to arrive Thursday. Yeah. They said it would arrive Thursday. Unless you're talking about the stuff that you ordered from the store, in which case, so I still don't know. Anyway, yeah. So if you didn't get that, yeah, you got your stuff. That's awesome. So yeah. Let's see here. Carlos said, "Oh, that's awesome. John loves the kids." Yeah, man. The kids make me smile, and that's one reason why I tell everybody who comes on the show, it's in the thing I send out to all the guests. Like, hey, kids, watch the show. So watch your language, because if they're going to learn, I understand they'll probably grow up and learn some words. I don't want them to learn them here. That's it.
Right.
See, Jared's kids didn't hug Boo either. See that? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. B said that cannoli is like tiramisu. Fun fact, I don't think I had tiramisu until I was in my late 30s, because I had it with you.
Oh, yeah. I went to Desta?
Yeah, I think you're the because I was like, and the fact I believe my exact words were, "What's tiramisu?" and, and you
And I was
said,
horrified.
"Yeah," and she's like, "There you go."
Yeah,
But see,
yeah.
that's the thing is like people say again. This is another tangent. Welcome to the show. Um, a lot of times I don't realize what's a cultural thing that I just never grew up, even though we obviously are in America and I moved to the States when I was 7, because culturally I come from West Africa. Even the food that we ate didn't really change until so
Mhm.
unless somebody from here introduced me to it, I I don't have a file on it, right? And so
Sure.
I had never met anybody who was into tiramisu enough to introduce me to it until I married Naomi. So I was like, huh?
And
And
then growing up in New York, it's a cultural melting pot, especially in the neighborhood growing up where my parents decided to raise my sister and I. I mean, you had all multiculturals around us. So um, we had a grapevine that grew around our backyard, and our neighbor, we had Greek neighbors and Arabic neighbors that would come and pick the leaves off of there, and they would do the stuffed grape leaves. And I didn't
so they're
understand at
stealing
first,
your
and
grape
then they
leaves.
make it, yes, and so they would make it, they would cook it, and they would bring it over. So good, so good. But yeah, so it's great. So think of it almost kind of like
Tiramisu
how
comes from grape leaves.
no. But I'm just saying multicultural. So
Oh,
the
okay. I was like,
tiramisu,
what?
experiencing that, but I'm just like,
You got people
because
hopping
you're
your
talking
fence to
about,
steal the leaves from the. Okay, all right,
no, they're
gotcha.
not stealing it. But I mean, it's just experiencing the different foods.
Yeah,
So
I got
like, I never experienced Ethiopian food until I was with you
And
because
that's
we
crazy. And
didn't
that's
have that.
crazy to me because like our so what you just described is what we when I was growing up, the first place I lived in Maryland was in Prince George's County. And our next door neighbor was from Palestine. Our downstairs neighbor was from Ethiopia. And obviously we
Hmm.
were from Liberia. And then the person from upstairs, he was from Libya. And so we had
Hmm.
food from all 3 places all of the time. Well, and then
Hmm.
obviously we had Liberian food too. And so I'm saying like when I said we had food from all 3 places, I mean like they would share food. So
Hmm.
the kids were always like going upstairs carrying food. My mom made this and just bring it to the door and you take it and you eat it. Or
Yeah.
I'm going downstairs or I'm going upstairs carrying food that my mom made. And so it was like just a melting pot in terms of foods that way. But like
Yeah.
I didn't have pizza until probably I had been in America for probably 2 years, maybe 3 years.
Hmm.
I saw
Yeah.
it, but I was like, I don't know what that is, and I didn't want to eat it.
And see,
Yeah,
my dad grew okra, and I can't stand okra.
yeah,
And
I don't like
we
okra.
had a neighbor 2 doors down from us that would basically get the okra from him so they can make it in their
Yeah,
food.
yeah,
And
I'm
I
not.
was
I
like,
ain't into that.
nope.
I ain't into okra
And
at all.
and before the okra conversation goes into the live chat, I've tried it every single different way.
Yeah,
You, I've had it
me too.
pickled, I've had it
I don't like it.
sautéed, I've had it fried, I've had it.
Yeah, not into it at all. I
No,
hate
no.
okra.
So
Let's see
yeah.
here. Carlos said I'll open the box tonight. You gonna open it on your stream? Okay, I will tune in. I will definitely tune in. He said multiple strange boxes, not me being nervous. Hey, look, man, you gotta live dangerous. What about the M dash? I am a fan of the M dash. Not as much anymore because you tend to only see it like when somebody uses AI to write something for them. But
Mhm.
I like the M dash because to me, it it's part of having clarity. I don't like the Oxford comma because to me it is it basically to me shows lazy writing. Um, and if you look at so if you use the Strunk and White um, uh, grammar guide, then it's Principles of Style by Strunk and White, then the Oxford comma is preferred. But uh, if you learn to write using Chicago style manual, like journalistically, you're not allowed to use the Oxford comma in any kind of writing for like a newspaper or anything like that.
Mhm.
And so developed a habit of never using Oxford comma. So like my father never writes with an Oxford comma because you're
Mhm.
taught to just rewrite the sentence so you don't need an Oxford comma. So blame Trevor because he
Yeah.
brought up the M dash.
Again, there we go down the rabbit hole.
Don't get me on apostrophes because I can talk about that for a while
Oh
too.
boy, please no. No.
Anyway, you
He
want to
was
talk about
on
the
a podcast. He's
you
on a
want to talk about the
podcast, people,
hey, you want to
about
talk
the
about the schwa?
origin.
What about the
Yeah,
schwa? their blout shift.
Keep,
What you know about their blout
keep
shift?
going.
Okay.
No, not keep going there
Oh,
in
you
the
said keep
chat.
going.
Thank you.
So,
No,
all
no,
right.
no, 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 no.
Sean said tis a Celtic. Tis a Celtic thing. All right.
Yes.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Yeah.
Said, did we receive a ticking package yet? We got the camera. It's from you. I appreciate it. It's funny because
Yes.
Naomi brought it in to our room and set it on the bed, and I was like, and when I
On the
saw who it
dresser.
was from, yeah, you put it on the dresser. I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, I say that's a camera. What are we doing with it in here? And I was like, oh, no.
No.
No,
No.
no, it's right here in the office.
No.
Anyway,
Jesus.
let's see here. Jared says, I press twice a week, and a lot of times my tricep tendons are not fully recovered by the second day. So I pick triceps movements and implements where I can't move as much weight. Anybody else do that? This is not an issue that I have faced. But I do. Now you got me thinking about it because I've never actually given it any thought.
I'm trying to think.
I think I probably do a heavy light day anyway, because one day is more devoted towards overhead training. So those movements tend to be lighter anyway than my like horizontal pressing, like bench pressing and whatnot, and close grip bench and all this kind of stuff. So and then also up until recently, one of my pressing days was on a day when I'd have to go to work, so I wouldn't have as much time, and so I would use the cable tower for those movements just for the sake of time. And so that ended up automatically being lighter. So you see me doing like the supersets and the trisets and stuff with the cables. So that automatically ended up being lighter. So I guess maybe accidentally I was doing that, but not on purpose. That's a good question. I actually like that. Let me put that on there. I like that. All right. Letha says she got the step. Okay, cool. So what I'm talking about is it's a rig step, because since Letha trains people in her home, she has a power rack that is tall enough for her taller clients, which means since she is 5 feet tall, that it's more difficult for her to reach the top, if she wants to do pull-ups herself, to train herself. And I remember when I was at her gym, I said, you know what, you need a rig step. Then I showed it to her that's why I showed it to her when she came over. And I was like, okay, yeah, so she needs that. So then when we got the other ones, I said, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and send this to Letha. So I'm glad you got it. I hope that serves you well. All right, Kevin said he does. He said I changed the joint torque demand, and he says basically he uses the Vultra for that. Okay, yeah, I ain't. But she also got her chalk ball and her muscle arm hooks. And by the way, the cast iron muscle hooks continue to be our best-selling item in the store. Let's see here.
So John was so happy about it. He goes, I don't know what I was doing, but I was walking past the office, and he hollers for me. He goes, I need you to look at this. And he goes, I don't want to hear anything about muscle hooks. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, you say it's just a guy thing. And I'm like, it's weird, you guys. He goes, Letha bought 4. And I was like, okay, thank you for holding up things.
I'm just saying, hey, look, when I'm right, I'm right. And even if I'm wrong, I could have been right. So I'm right because I'm learning wrong. Let's see here. Does Fernando use proper grammar? Nope, he doesn't. That's another thing that's wrong with him. What the heck? Strange packages for everyone. This can't be normal behavior. I mean, define normal.
Garage Gym Life.
That's it. All right. So that was the last comment. And let's go ahead and, I wasn't going to. Yeah, I was. Let's play the cast iron muscle hooks commercial. And then we'll be right back to go into news and other things. Let's go. Hey guys, one of the things that we are big believers in here at Garage Gym Life is that your home gym should be the best gym in town for you. And that includes personalizing it. So every time you walk in there, you are proud of it and motivated to get your workouts in. And that includes adding little personal touches that set your home gym apart from everything else. Here's an example of what I mean. When we were first setting up our home gym and we were looking for ways to get stuff off the floor, we went ahead and got these flexible hanging solutions that we found on Amazon, and we use it all over the gym to hang up various things. But now we're ready for an upgrade. And so what I'm gonna do is replace this very basic hanging solution with these muscle arm wall hooks that I found. Less than a minute to install, and that looks 100% better. If you want the muscle arm wall hooks for your home gym, go ahead and click that shopping button, grab them from the Garage Gym Life store, and then let us know how you like them once you get them installed in your home gym. All right, shout out to everybody who placed orders at GarageGymLifeMedia.com. That website is the primary way to support this channel and get cool and unique stuff for your home gym. The goal for this channel is and always has been to be supported by you guys, because that helps us stay independent from the brands. I don't have anything against brands, and in fact, setting up the Shopify store gives me new insight into the challenges they face. But we want to be supported. Basically, we want to work for you guys, and so at the same time, bills got to be paid. So even being able to use this streaming platform costs money. So yeah, if you want to support the show, just go to GarageGymLifeMedia.com and purchase something to hook up your home gym. This is all stuff that we've curated over the years, stuff that we trust. Every brand that's on there is a brand that has passed our test for durability of their products and for treating you right on the off chance that something goes wrong. So go ahead and visit that and support the channel, and we appreciate you. All right. With all that being said, let's go ahead and dive into news and other things. All right, so question of the day. We learned about a lot of newer home gym creators in the home gym space at HomeGymCon. Because I was seeing people, I was like, who's that? Who's that? And then as they were doing like their booth tours and publishing them, they would, they're coming across my feed. So I'm like, oh, I remember seeing that guy or whatever, right? So that's been happening to me over the past 2 weeks since HomeGymCon. And I'm really enjoying watching some of these videos from people. So what I need to know is from you guys, who's your favorite up and coming home gym content creator? Go ahead and comment with the answer. If you're watching on replay, then go ahead and post your answer in the comment section, because I really do want to see it. All right, so we already have one answer already. Trevor said, Sweatshop Dad is my favorite new creator. Hey, I'm a big fan of Tyler, and I got to give a shout out to Kevin, because Kevin is the reason I know about Sweatshop Dad, Tyler. And then we actually saw Tyler at HomeGymCon. It was really cool to meet him and his wife. But yeah, I like his approach to the content he creates on here on YouTube. So yeah, I like that answer. That's a pretty cool one. Boo said, as far as I'm concerned, you're the only content creator in the home gym joint. No, there are others. And I'll also say too, one thing, because Naomi has people that she follows who wouldn't necessarily be considered home gym content creators by most people. But to me, as long as you create your content about fitness and it is in a home gym environment, to me, you're a home gym content creator, right? So I kind of expanded out. So yeah. I heard what you said. I'm just telling you that I know that there's some who I know you would like. You just but I ain't gonna tell you right now, because you're gonna be, you're gonna object just on bare principle. So I know my audience.
Wow.
So anyway, that being said, something I also want to bring up. I saw his answer to what I said. All right.
Yes.
So that being said, though, Naomi's, I still remember your face when this happened, but oh, did I play the thing? Yeah, I did. All right. The news and other things. Naomi's aura spin video. I remember your face when I told you that this was going to happen, and she was shocked. All right. But Naomi's Aura Spin video hit 1 million views last week. In
I
fact,
am shooketh.
let me look at this. I'm going to pull it up right now so I can see the analytics on it. Because obviously, so this was like Wednesday, I think, when it hit 1 million views. So
I think I think you told me that on Wednesday.
Yeah, so let me see where it is now, because obviously it continues to, people keep watching it. So yeah, it's like 1 million. So this is since Wednesday. All right. And
Okay.
we're not advertising the video or nothing like it. It's just literally people just watching it. So Wednesday hit 1 million views. Since Wednesday, it's gone up. So right now it is sitting at 1,122,245 views.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I am,
And,
like I said,
and I love my Aura Spin.
I'm telling you, I am so, first of all, I'm immensely proud, because, I'm proud of you in general, but also because, Naomi was very, very hesitant to come from, like, to get in front of the camera. So this is the video right
Mhm.
here. She's very hesitant to get in front of the camera. And for me, I was like, look, you are, so you can see that right there. It says 1.1 million views. Um, it was a members first video. So we, just like all the other videos on the channel, but I think
Mhm.
it was, I really don't know what was the first video that you did, but I still remember saying, I'm telling you, you'll be good at this. You'll be good at this. I was like, just talk. Don't worry about, just talk. I think I told you, talk like you're doing a presentation at work. And then I said, okay, now
Yeah.
talk like you're trying to, like, don't talk like you're trying to sell me something, but just like you're trying to explain something to a friend. And we worked through like different strategies for how to present the information.
Here's the script. He goes, you sound stiff. Don't use
Yeah, I was like, yeah, we ain't using the script. We threw the script
it.
idea out the window pretty quick. I was like, I don't feel like we're doing
But
it anymore.
so and I'd just be happy there's not a blooper reel out there on some
Oh
of the
yeah.
videos that we um whether it's videos that we've done together or I've done, and it's like, okay, take one, take
Oh
two,
yeah.
take 52.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it gets frustrating, but the other thing too is
mhm,
like you get the more you do it, the more I'm seeing like how comfortable you are getting at it, especially because now she's like, I'll just shoot a video. I'll take 5. It used to be like, okay, for a 5-minute video, that's gonna be like an hour, maybe 2 hours, right?
yeah.
Because we're gonna have take 1, take 2, gotta set up the gym, all that kind of stuff. Now she's like, oh, I got 30 minutes. Let me just do it right now, and it's just
Hmm.
bang it out. It's so
Yeah.
effortless. So I love seeing that, and then I especially like it because, um, I during my weekly trip to Facebook, I also saw a post from Letha where she
Hmm.
was talking about uh when she did the video with you at HomeGymCon, right? And I don't know why I'm pointing
Hmm.
over there. I'm pointing at the wall for some reason.
You're
But
actually pointing at me because you're on the left side of me. So
to me and everybody else, you're over there. No, I literally say when I meant to do this, and instead I did that. I don't know why. But she was saying, like, with the video that you guys did at HomeGymCon, she was talking about how
mhm,
nervous she was, right? And she talks about um how she was looking at how you did it, like how comfortable you are on camera. And in my head, I was like, that's maybe a year or so from when you
at
started
least.
actually, yeah, before you started getting in front of the camera, like really getting in front of the camera. So it's just really cool to see that growth and progression.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still learning, still growing, and then, life be lifing, and
Uh,
major life events professionally, um, kind of took my content creation to the side while moving into this new professional space that I'm in. And, but I'm getting back into it and shooting. So just doing the editing and whatnot next.
you know what? I forgot all about it. So that's funny. So I thought that having your own channel would make it easier for you. But to me, because then you'd be talking about, obviously topics that you already know a whole lot about. Because in the
Mhm.
beginning, when it was like home gym stuff, although you obviously work out in a home gym, a lot of the stuff you're like, well, I don't know about like the knurling and all this other kind of stuff that you guys talk about. And I say, yeah, but that's my point. I want you to talk about other things because you're going to talk about the stuff that doesn't occur to us because we're guys,
Right.
right? And I think that's what people are responding to, that you're talking about things
Mhm.
from a woman's perspective, and
Mhm.
you're bringing up things that wouldn't normally occur to, you know, most of the content creators who are men. And I didn't really see other women bringing it up either, so I was like, this is an important hole in the marketplace. But then
Mhm.
when you were doing the office stuff, is like, I don't think the passion was there for it. And I think it's probably because it's when it's something that you do all day, the idea of saying, okay,
Yeah.
now I want to talk about the thing I do all day. And then that just wasn't, you weren't really feeling it. So the message there to
Mhm.
me is you still have to be passionate about what you decide to make content on.
Yeah.
It's not just about, oh, this is the stuff that people are gonna find interesting.
Mhm.
Because I was like, remote office, like the remote office category is a huge category. People are really interested in it, right?
Mhm.
But because it's not necessarily something that you were super, super passionate about at the time, it was harder for you to make that than stuff about workout stuff, right?
It was definitely something that took up a lot of bandwidth.
Yeah.
And during that, again, those that are behind the scenes knows exactly
Uh,
what was going on.
yeah.
Um, and when I say like a major, professional shift, um, still in the same arena that I used to work in, but just taking it from a different angle. And it took a lot to just kind of get myself situated, be able to find my rhythm, etc. And so between home and work and everything else in between, and still staying consistent with my workouts, because I
Right.
was like, that's not going, I'm not going to put that aside, because that was always the thing that used to be the first thing I sacrificed and decided, no, wasn't going to sacrifice that. I now have found my rhythm. I found, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is though, so like Boo said, it took me 5.5 hours to make a 14-second video shaking my head. The thing I'm saying is like you get a lot of people in the content creation space, not just home gym content,
Hmm.
who are making content that isn't their passion. They're making it
Hmm.
because they think that's what people want to see. And
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I think it's better to just make stuff that you're interested, that you're really passionate about, and
Hmm.
then your tribe will find you.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean? It's
also, I
better
guess
to do
like
that.
some of the concepts, like I think it was you and Carp when we went. I think we had stopped by his place, and I was like, oh, that's a video. Oh, that's a video, and like you're just spitballing like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
ideas, and it's like, oh yeah, that's content. Oh, yep, that's a video. Yep, that's a
yeah.
video right there. And I'm like, how do you? And I kind of joke around, like I have family members that are teachers. I mean, heck, my
Right.
mom was a retired teacher, my mother-in-law was a retired teacher, and the brain of a teacher and the
Mm,
concepts they could come up with in a classroom to help build these worlds of learning. I'm like, you
yeah.
had like a paper clip, a pack of paper, and a roll of cups, styrofoam cups, and you turned a dinosaur in the back of the classroom. How'd you do that? Kind of thing.
Now I
Um,
want to know too. And what?
so I'm like,
I
you know,
I almost swallowed my ice just then when you said I wasn't ready for you to say dinosaur. I was like, well, what?
yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
mean, like paper plates. Who makes you think about like, oh, these could turn into jellyfish and you hang them up from the ceiling? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
um, we had.
It's definitely how you see the world. Like it starts to change how you see the world. But I mean,
Mhm.
I think you have to start with, and we really didn't plan on talking about this, but
Do we
those of you who
ever?
are watching, no, those of you who are watching who are content creators, I'm saying literally, um, that's like my advice is start with what you're already passionate about and don't worry about whether this is something
Mhm.
that is that's popular, right? Because what's going to happen is
Yeah.
when you're
Find
starting
your
out,
voice.
when you're starting out, people are gonna all the advice you're gonna get is gonna be about SEO, find the stuff that's trending, make videos about that topic. Well, what ends up happening is your channel ends up being a little all over the place because you're constantly chasing the trend. And if you're chasing the trend, that means you're slightly behind it, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
always gonna be slightly behind the trends. So that
Mm-hmm.
means the bigger channels have probably already kind of squeezed that topic dry a little bit. And now here
Mm-hmm.
you come. Yeah, you could put your own spin on it, but you have to figure out a way to get people to watch your spin on it versus when they might be like, well, I've already watched all these other videos about it. Why do I need to watch yours? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that can limit your growth. But if you come at something that people aren't talking about, yeah, it may take you a little bit of time in the beginning, but you'll find that people who are looking for that topic will find you and your tribe will just grow organically.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of tribe, what's up, Matt? This is our UK representative. What's going on, man? Hope you're having a good day and that you're leaving the deer alone.
Venison.
Carlos said, my issue is creating content by myself. It gets overwhelming at times, and I know I've got ideas.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go right back to stick to what you're passionate about. Actually, let me back up. One thing I think I would tell people, if I was starting over right now, I wouldn't necessarily do Garage Gym Life the way we did it, because we started not as a YouTube channel. So what ended up happening with the YouTube channel is we transferred what we were doing with trying to do with the website and with the magazine. The website turned into a magazine. The magazine turned into a YouTube channel. Well, it turned to an Instagram. Instagram turned into a YouTube channel. So if I were just starting a YouTube channel on purpose, we wouldn't have multiple topics and all that kind of thing. Instead, I would find one topic and stick to that topic until you grow big enough that people are they're not searching for the topics anymore. You get to the point where people aren't discovering you because of the topic. They're coming to you because they're looking for your channel. Then you can branch out, right? And I would say that that's the thing that hurts a lot of creators, is because you're into multiple things and you want to talk about all of them at once. Well, you're not giving anybody a chance. You're not giving yourself a chance to become an expert in an area, and you're not giving a chance for YouTube to kind of identify who the best fit for your audience is to organically share your stuff. So to me, where Carlos shines is in his live content and his interaction with his guests. So to me, it's like, stick to just gaming, just live stream your gaming and leave it and just let it be that, right? Because you have the most fun doing it, especially when your daughter's there. I'm like, just stick to that and don't worry about this other stuff. Yeah.
And if you haven't watched Carlos's live streaming for the video
you
games,
need to do that tonight.
you need to do. You can go ahead and be part of the replay gang, but he will be streaming again tonight. It is awesome.
Heck yeah, it's so much fun, like, to interact with. Yeah, I'm telling you, you're missing out if you don't watch it. Carp said, "Yep, that's how you know the stream is official."
We get started.
We're official now. Blue said, "I haven't started, but I'm just trying to imagine how it would be breaking it down into a much of an outline, something you can follow. Seems a little bit rough, almost overwhelming for me. Yeah, it can be overwhelming because. So here's another thing too. Everybody, like, you kind of like, oh, well, I got to do product reviews, right? Well, a lot of times brands, we had a brand this past week say, we want to see your script before you shoot the video, or else, there's no deal, right? And I kind of was like, I mean, I don't really feel like sending you a script, and since you're not paying us, you ain't the boss of me. And he said, that goes back to, we work for y'all. I told you, y'all, GarageGymLifeMedia.com. I don't need to do what they, you know what I mean? Obviously, yes, I will.
And sometimes the videos that we have done, like our reviews in the past, the script comes as we've got a chance to.
Yeah, we just did it unscripted.
Work it and experience it, etc. And so to have something like a cookie cutter script like that, like, oh yeah, there you go.
Because
sight
they have
unseen.
Stuff they want to. Because they send you a brief and they want to make sure you include the talking points. I'm like, we can do that. And I mean, we can work off a script. It's not a big deal. My point is that you're gonna limit yourself if you're only doing product reviews, and
Mm-hmm.
you're like, well, so like Sean says, I'm not a big fan of scripts. Okay, well, then you have to figure out the brands that will let you do videos without a script, and make sure that you're not limiting yourself,
Right.
because some of the bigger brands demand a script. And the ones that'll pay you more money would demand a script. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just something, it can be navigated. It's just something else to navigate.
Right.
Matt said, I may have an opportunity to travel to USA next year. Natural Strongman Worlds will be in
Awesome.
Texas. I just got to qualify for finals. Hey, man, you could do that. I mean, you're a world record
You got
holder.
this.
I don't see why you can
You
have
got
any
this.
issues. Carp said, raw dog, baby. I'm telling you.
Toss.
But you know what I mean, though. Yeah, like there are companies that say, hey,
Yeah.
we need to see your script. Um,
Yeah.
and a lot of times, like I said, they're the ones that'll offer you the most money, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, let's
And
move
again, we
into
went.
the oh, here we go. Apparently, we're not moving on. All right. Go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
That's it. And again, we are all script.
Yeah. Speaking of scripts, Carp said, I love when they contact you and say, I love your content, and they want to do a video with you. And you say, well, and you say, okay. And then all the video that you said you love is no script. So that's how I roll. Yeah. You said you
Oh,
love the
what's that
video.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, it is what it
It,
is.
it is what it is.
All right, so let's move into the first news item. So Bells of Steel, we got some product releases. So Bells of Steel released their human trainer. This is a body
Mm.
weight product. Let me see if I can pull it up. Body weight suspension system. So when I first saw the video, when Victoria sent out the video to kind of like let us
Mhm.
know this was going to be coming out, I'm
Mhm.
watching the video and I'm like, okay, so what's the big deal about this? We've already got this kind of thing. There are multiple products that do this, right? Well, what's different about this is I'll use this. I'm trying to see if I can't. Will it let you enlarge it? There you go. All right. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's actually two independent, instead of it being like most of the other suspension systems where it's like one that splits into
Mhm.
like one center anchor point, one anchor point with two I guess straps. Instead, it's
Mhm.
two straps with two independent anchor points.
Mhm.
And I actually prefer that because with like a TRX, for example, I kept feeling like it was too narrow. And I'm not,
Like
I'm
it
thinking about
pinches
some
you.
of the bigger people I know. I'm like, how would that even feel comfortable to them?
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's like, so let's say I'm doing a push up, it's scraping my
Right.
arm as I'm doing
Mhm.
scraping there. Yeah. So it's not comfortable. I'm like, I'm not into that. I don't want to do that. So with this one, it comes with all the stuff that you would expect. It's still got the clips. It's got all the handles, the what you call it, the foot cradle. It's got all that stuff. But what I like is it's got the two, and you can see it right there. I think you can see the two independent anchor points. You can mount it on the side of the door. It's really easy to attach. But to me, the biggest selling point is it's two. It's almost like gymnastics rings, but with a little bit more functionality.
Mhm.
Um, so what do you think of that uh, in terms
I
of
think for
this product?
for for that product, if I was still having to travel for like what I used to travel with my previous job, that would be definitely a must for my to go
Okay.
um bag. Because even though with hotels you do have hotel gyms and you can use it, but that gives you another option. And I like the fact that um the way the anchor point works, it's not so thick at the top,
Yeah.
where it prevents the door from like truly closing kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um so I think that's a really good piece of equipment to take with you, especially if you travel and still be able to get a workout in, etc.
The only thing about using that in a hotel is like, okay, so where would you put it? Because think of the hotels where we've been, where the only door, um, I guess maybe the bathroom door, but sometimes there's not enough room between the bathroom door and the wall in the hallway.
Sometimes you have,
Have
even
you
though I
used the
put it
front,
on my
like the
preference
room door?
sheet, well, like when I would put it on my preference sheet that I don't like adjoining rooms. But I mean, if you have that side door where it is an adjoining room, you're not opening the other person's door, but you can use that one because it's usually it's a little bit wider. So you have room from there, or you can do it from the door that is coming into your room.
So you mean, so if it's an adjoining door, you mean open that door, hang it up, because there's two
And
doors,
then,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
and then
I can see
close
that.
it. Yeah.
I can see that. So we got some comments on it. So the first question is Jared said fun colors. I can't see Bells of Steel brand anywhere on it. Is Bells of Steel offering this as a third-party product? No, they actually bought the company. So the company,
Hmm.
it was an existing company, and there's a video that
Right.
I believe is public on the Bells of Steel YouTube channel. Um, Let me see. I'm not gonna play it right now because it's fairly long, but
Hmm.
um I'll find it, and I'll tell you what, I'll find that video and I'll post it in the description for this video on replay, so you guys can
Hmm.
go and check it out, and maybe I'll do it as an end screen so that way it'll lead
Hmm.
people straight to it. But in any case, Kayvon said that Bells of Steel bought the company that made this original product, and
Hmm.
I guess that's why the branding isn't on there, because yeah, if you look on there, it's got a different company name right there. It doesn't say Bells of Steel
Right.
on there, and that's why. In any case, it's in stock. They said it ships in 1 to 3 business days. You got two options. You got the essential, and then you can get the complete training kit, which has all this other stuff. It's got like resistance band
The
and everything else.
tubes.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
little tubes or whatever. But it's supposed to be fairly strong. You can do a bunch of different things with it. So there you go. If this is something that
Hmm.
you're looking into, we'll give you that link. Put the link in the video description as well, so you guys can go check it out. It may at some point be available in the YouTube shopping algorithm, so you can just kind of like click the shopping button once
Hmm.
it's so if you're watching the video and it is available, I'll have that in the shopping, like you'll be able to click the shopping button to just go get it uh
Right.
as well. Make it easy on you. Try to make it easy for you guys to find it. Carp said, yeah, it's kind of like gymnastics rings with straight handles and adjustable clip-ins. Yeah, like
Hmm.
the thing about gymnastics rings is sometimes it's difficult for people to kind of like attach them and adjust them. And so
Hmm.
it's like I said, it's just like a gymnastic. To me, it's like a gymnastics rings and TRX kind of like combined. And I like that. Uh Letha said, make sure the door doesn't open towards you. Love my TRX straps for traveling. Yeah,
Yeah.
um
Well,
I
see, a
want to
lot of times
say, let me think.
the adjoining door, because it has a deadbolt,
Yeah,
so
yeah, you
I'm
can lock it.
sure you can
Technically, you
lock
can
it.
lock it. Yeah. You just gotta
So I
open
guess.
it and then stick the thing through there to anchor it, and then you close it back and then lock it. But yes.
Hmm.
Uh
But yeah, no
let me
injuries whatsoever.
uh okay. I don't understand this sentence. Your speech to text betrayed you, Carp. Um you said it kind of looks like old claws and bands. I'm not gonna try. But yeah, I get the basic idea, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will go ahead, like I said, I'll look and see if this is available in the shopping button for YouTube. And if it is,
Hmm.
then we can go ahead and add it. In fact, I can do that while we talk about the next thing.
Yeah.
Uh so Synergy Custom Fitness has a plate holder extender, and
Hmm.
this is another product that was debuted at the reunion breakfast. That's right.
Hmm.
That's what we're calling it, the reunion breakfast. And let me pause for a second and say, I think it's so cool. One of the things that I think is very cool about that reunion breakfast is we actually debut products before anybody else sees them, whether we get credit or not. I know it's enough for me that
Yeah.
I know that it debuted. So, like for example, I see all these people talking about the Fringe Sport digital resistance product. They're like,
Hmm.
and they're like, oh, I discovered it. I'm like, yeah, well, they debuted it on our show, on
Yeah.
our at the reunion breakfast. So
Yes.
I'm beyond happy that that's a venue that we can use to debut products like that. Because in fact, Peter didn't want to. His original plan was his original plan was not to show it at all. And then he and I
Hmm.
had a conversation, and he agreed to show it at the reunion breakfast. Well, then after he did that, he and I had a further conversation, and he's like, you know what? I'll go ahead and I'll take it down to the French Ward booth and display it for everybody. right? And people
Mm.
can come by there and ask questions. So if not for the reunion breakfast, none of the people who are looking at that product who love it would have gotten to see it until much later when it was more of a finished product. So you're
Right.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right. And
Okay, Moana.
in the same vein, this plate holder extender was also debuted at the reunion breakfast.
Oh yes, Carlos
And
and Alex.
yeah, I'm just
Jokes
gonna leave
involved.
alone what they said, but I do like
But that was really cool.
this picture right here actually explains what it does a lot better, and I love that. Where
Hmm.
is it saying, "Oh, you can see how much more room that you get if you add this to your rack as a plate
Yes.
holder." But then I also like the fact that you can put it on a plate tree, a freestanding plate tree.
Hmm.
So you can double your
And
plate storage. So I really like that.
I like that a lot because while I have thinned out our bumper tree,
Mhm.
um, there are still some more bumpers I'll probably end up needing. Um, and I like how that keeps it nice and organized. It's nice and clean. Um, and you can it looks great. I like it.
Um, so I'm trying to find the Bells of Steel suspension trainer.
Hmm.
See if I can find it here. And it's not pulling it up right now. Actually, I got it away. The human trainer. So let's
Hmm.
see if it's I'm trying to add it to the YouTube shopping thing right now. So we're about to find out if I'm gonna be successful. Boom, there we go. That's right. All right, so
I'm
add
so
that.
proud of you.
I'm pretty proud of myself too. All right, so the Bells are still the human trainer bodyweight suspension. Good lord, that's the long name.
Hmm.
Human trainer bodyweight suspension system. That's the last time I'm
Yeah.
saying all that. It's now, if you guys are interested in it, just click the shopping button that's associated with this video. And also, yesterday was National Bacon Day, according to Trevor. And so that's why if you click the shopping button, you can see that we have you can buy Jones Farm Cherrywood smoked dry aged center cut extra thick sliced bacon. Also, the last time I'm saying all that, or
Yep.
Riff Smokehouse 18-pack on the go bacon strips. You know why? Because yesterday was National Bacon Day. And so now we're making it possible for you to get your National Bacon Day, and you can continue the bacon fun over the weekend. Go ahead, place your order, and we thank you for all
Oh
your
wow.
support from the channel. Now,
I'm
let's go back to talking about plate storage. Um,
about to say,
what?
'cause also you
That
said
was a
that
segue. That was a segue.
that was a segue. Okay,
Yes.
okay. So we have the plate tree storage, but also that the colors that are available is
Yeah.
also
Okay.
something else. Hmm.
So let me see here. It's got like 11 colors, I want to say.
Hmm.
So can you guys see this right here?
Yes, we can
It's
see
got,
it.
I don't know.
And
Oh, okay. All
clean.
right. So it does. Okay. So I wasn't sure if I clicked on it, if it would change the color. So
Hmm.
it's got blue, white, reddish. It's kind of like a, yeah, well,
More of a crimson.
yeah, it's
That's like
like
a
a
Georgia
crimson,
red.
which is the best color red. Black, of
Hmm.
course. Then a more of an
That's a
orange.
brighter red. Yeah.
Then we got yellow, blue, kind of like a khaki green, almost like an OD
Like
green.
army. Like army green.
No, OD green. Then
OD. Okay.
there's desert and where it show pink, and then purple, because BJ from the Iron Clinic is gonna demand purple, and I think Joey Echeverria is a big fan of purple products,
Hmm.
gym products as well. So there you go. So yeah, it's funny because when they first started out, they wouldn't do a bunch of color options, but now you guys kind of like you have them trained. You have them
Hmm.
trained to automatically offer multiple color options. Let's see here. Boo said, I love the weight tree. All right. Yup.
Hmm.
Hold on here. There we go. JB said, Carlos telling us all how a few inches can make all the difference was a moment. It definitely, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just
Yeah.
like, okay.
Because
Uh,
at first it was like, did
I was
he?
like,
Oh,
I was
it was a
like,
Shrek moment.
I
I
was like,
see what's
come
happening.
on, Carlos, what are you doing?
We had the kids in the
And we
room.
had
It was a
kids
Shrek
in the
moment.
room. We had kids in the room. I said, oh my, Carlos. He said reunion
Usually
is
it's Alex. We have to make sure is like stay on the
just
straight and narrow.
way
But
off the yeah.
Carlos
JB
took it.
said reunion is such a good name. Yeah, I mean, I forgot who mentioned it, who said it, but I was like, when I saw it, I said, yeah, reunion breakfast. The reunion is it really reunion, but I just call it reunion breakfast so people understand it.
Mhm.
But yeah, reunion is a good name. He said good morning, by the way. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And Carp said the bacon freaking weekend. That's it. That should be a song. What's it? R.
Hey,
Kelly,
DJ
it's the
Carp.
freaking weekend, baby. Yeah, I can see
So,
him like with
so we
two
just
packs of bacon in his hand.
DJ Carp on the ones and twos is gonna go ahead and come up with a theme song.
Hey, what you know about DJ Carp? You
Hey,
forgot about
we
DJ
listen to
Carp? You for,
it.
you forgot about DJ Carp. Hey, I'm
I
about
did
to
not
just
forget about DJ
randomly.
Carp.
I think you did. I'm gonna play DJ Carp right now.
Go lift, baby. Woo!
All right, you don't know about that. You don't know about DJ Carp. Another one. Another one.
Another one.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Love it.
Kevin on Home Gym Games for the question of the day. He said, I actually unsubscribed to a lot. Wow. Okay.
Oh,
He's over here unsubscribing to Home Gym content creators. Dang, Kevin. Okay. It's rough out here in these streets. He said, but on a good note, I vote Sweatshop Dad as a new good creator, and he's jacked as well. Yeah, Tyler is in good
mhm.
shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw myself, oh, this dude is actually living the lifestyle. So yeah, I
Mhm.
second that vote. Um,
Yeah.
Black is number one. Number two is red. Yes. I said black and red. That's it.
Mhm.
No, the number two bestseller is red. Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
that makes sense. Sean said, I got 2 free Delta uprights from Carlos at HomeGymCon. And he said, I now have a hot pink weight tree from Synergy. That's a definite choice.
Oh, there you
Okay.
go.
Okay. Boost, I'm going to the lab with it. I'm telling you, like for real, Synergy Custom Fitness they're doing their thing, man. It's
Love, love, love. They have
love everything about that
one of
brand.
the best ecosystems for organization of your weight equipment, bar none.
Heck yeah. Carp said dropping hits. That's right. So guess what happened? It is now 7:02. We missed Recliner of Rage, and I heard the little feet too. For those who don't
Mhm.
know, we have our grandkids over. So at some point, Naomi's gonna
Grandkids
have to
and
get out of here.
grandpups. So we have a full house right
Yes,
now.
we do have
So
puppies in the house.
two-legged
There's some little
and
puppies in the house.
four-legged. So yes,
But
Mystique is down here.
I'm gonna do a Recliner Rage, and then I'll finish off on and then we'll continue on with the news items.
Okay.
Let's see here. Do you want to hang out, or do you want to go check on
I'm gonna go check on it because
make sure they're not doing
after having
anything?
a house try and take over the world, I saw Baby Geniuses. I know what can happen, and
Tell you,
the youngest one,
boss baby.
he, yeah, Boss Baby too.
I'm telling you.
You know, he walks around with his hands behind his back as a supervisor, observing. He's not even 2 yet. So Lord only knows what he is organizing, planning, and then with having 2 mischievous pups upstairs, who knows what can happen. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna sign off
Okay.
to check on them, get Nora ready for school. But everybody, great seeing y'all as
All right.
always. Have a great one. I'll talk to you later.
All right. See you. And let's see here. So the fact of the matter is, yeah, the goal is to make sure they're not doing what they want to do, because what they want to do is probably not going to be good for our homeowners insurance. Let's go ahead and I'll just do a quick shout out. Shout out to the Central Time Zone. Thank you guys for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. Please hit the like button. Hype this video if you're watching on replay, because that helps us get the word out. There are about 9,000 of you guys watching right now. Please hit like, hit subscribe, so that we can keep this momentum going. Trying to hit 500,000 subscribers by Christmas, and we need all of your help in order to make that happen. So appreciate all your support. And let's go ahead and jump into the most popular segment, which is Recliner of Rage. Let's go.
It's the recliner of rage.
It's the recliner of rage, 'cause he's not happy.
All right, so straight up, today's Recliner of Rage is dedicated to the t-shirt providers at Spread Connect. So we were using them. We've actually been working with this brand or with this provider, I want to say since like 2018. And then we noticed that when we decided to open a Shopify store, one of the things that we really liked about it is that we thought seamlessly integrate what we were already doing with Spreadshirt onto the Shopify store. And I even recommended it to those of you who were present for the store unveiling that we did that Saturday. And people were asking me like, well, who can I get to make my shirts, right? And I said, oh yeah, just go to Spreadshirt. Well, there are a lot of things going on with that Spread Connect app, and I don't really mind so much the fact that there are issues, because I mean we live in an imperfect world, right? Things happen. What I don't like is, you know how like when you're at work and you say there's a problem with your computer or whatever, and IT assumes that is your fault. Okay, well imagine an entire app that's populated with people who are just like that. They assume it's your fault. So I sent some screenshots of the conversation I was having with the Spread Connect team to Trevor, and he was like, "Yeah," and he kind of was like, "Yeah," he understood what I was going through. But I'm just gonna say, we were having an issue with the Team Floppy Bacon shirts, right? So understand, it's the exact same fabric. It's essentially the exact same product as the Team Crispy Bacon shirts, but for some reason, all the sizes, all the stuff weren't popping up. And in fact, it's this exact same t-shirt product as all the other t-shirts on our store. That specific one was popping up as not in stock for all the sizes and colors. So they spent 2 days trying to explain to me how it's something wrong with my browser. I'm like, well, if something's wrong with my browser, how do they explain the fact that my customers who are going to the site are also seeing the same thing? We're not sharing a browser. So how is it my fault? So I'll go into this a little bit later, but basically they got me in a recliner rage because I don't like it when I demonstrate that something that you need to make something right, and you try to make it so it's my fault to avoid having to pay, right? To pay me what you owe me, because they're also the reason why we were having issues with fulfilling some of the orders. So Winston, Rex, Ashley, and Letha all placed orders, and everything was being fulfilled normally except for the people who placed orders for t-shirts, because Spread Connect they decided that after having been with them and using them since I was in my 40s, I needed to prove again. I needed to send them my driver's license again. So I am about 98% of the way there to just telling them to kick rocks barefooted. And I don't like it, because one of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody does something that damages my reputation or causes me to break my word to people. And I cannot, I just can't anymore. Right. So yeah, so that's Recliner Rage, and I will not be appeased. There's only like one thing they can do to make me stay with them, and so I'm in the process. So if you go look on the website right now and you can't find any t-shirts, that's because I unlisted all of them, because I ain't gonna deal with this anymore. My mental peace is too important. So yeah, but don't worry, we will find another solution. So that is Recliner Rage. In fact, I am mad enough about this that I'm gonna do this.
It's the recliner of rage.
It's the recliner of rage, 'cause he's not happy.
Okay, Thank you for letting me share. I'm now going to move on. Carlos says, so frustrating. I feel your grief. I'm telling you, man, I don't like that. I don't like that. Carp said they're looking for grandma. The grandkids are looking for bacon. Hey, you know, it's funny because our grandson, he's like really into fruit. Like we got to make sure we keep cut up fruit in the house because that's all he wants to eat. We have to make him eat meat products. I don't know where he went wrong, but he's a boy still with much to learn. So we'll raise it. We'll get him out. We'll get him, turn him carnivorous pretty soon. And it will be crispy bacon as far as I'm concerned, because that's the only way. You got to cook your food all the way. Let's see here. All right, so the next item that I'm really enjoying seeing all the new products that are coming out of HomeGymCon, because from our end, you know, as a consumer, you go and you enjoy seeing this stuff, but I love the fact that brands go and there's always like inspiration. They'll see something and then that'll get their mind working. And I don't like it when somebody just copies what they saw at HomeGymCon, but I love when somebody sees something at HomeGymCon and they say, oh, in fact, here's a perfect example. Synergy Custom Fitness for years has been going to HomeGymCon and they see the products that are out there, and then they figure out ways that they can create stuff in their ecosystem to make those products more effective and more user-friendly. And then they'll approach the brand that made the product that gave them the idea, and they say, hey, we think we have a solution. I've seen them do it. They said, we have a solution for one of your products that will improve your product. That's the kind of thing, the innovation that I really like, right? So I don't know if this is completely something that happened because he went to HomeGymCon, but Mario from 46 Fitness put out a product that I think is a pretty cool one. He's talked about it a little bit on Instagram, and I went ahead, I'll pull it up here. So he's got these, I know some of you guys already commented on it, you've already seen it, right? So he doesn't have a name for the handle yet, but it's basically a rotating handle that you can mount directly to a cross member. And so he said, you know, his plan is to use them on a crossbar for pull-ups. This to me is actually superior to gymnastics rings because these twist, but gymnastics rings, you'd end up having like the strap would twist, right? Whereas this is designed to rotate fully. All right. Kids not included. And, all right, so there you go. So you see that right there. Anyway, so they're going to be available at the end of September. And let's do, he just posted, like, I think there was a close-up of it. So yeah, so that's the close-up video. So I saw that JB already posted a comment on it. I said, my comment was, what's the most common use case you see for these? It probably is pull-ups, but I'm just curious. I was curious what Mario, like, not necessarily what other people would. Yeah, I want to hear what other people are going to use it for. But my thought process was, what was the initial thing that made Mario say, hey, I'm going to make this? I guess it's pull-ups, but I was just curious to see what he thought. You know, like there's always like an original intent. And I'm making this so people can do this, or I'm making this to solve this problem. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Let's see here. JB said they didn't understand why there were floppy bacon shirts being listed. Team crispy bacon only. Yeah, I don't get it, man. It's just, yeah. Let's see here. Said floppy bacon shaking the nation. That's definitely not a thing. Yeah, I did go off. Okay, so anyway, that's all right. So post in the comments what you guys are. Number one, are you guys interested in this product from 46 Fitness? It'll be available in September, and if you are interested, comment and let me know what you would use it for. All right, so Carlos said he can see using it for pull-ups and rows. I know that some people, Mario said that he can see people using it with their lever arms. I think Sean said that as well, where he said, this guy, people have mentioned using as a landmine handle with the right attachment. That's funny. Let's see here. And I'm trying to find. Okay, there you go. Sean said you could use them as lever arm handles. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Okay. So let's see here. All right. Okay. All right. Now, some of you guys may have seen this video already on our YouTube channel, but we did we went to our home gym away from home, which is what we call when we visit my parents in Nashville. And we got Naomi's that was actually Naomi's first time working out there, her first time training there. It was, you know, I thought it was a good time, a lot of fun. If in case you did not see it, I'll go ahead and I'll share that video right now. All right. A few of you guys have seen it. So this was actually also Naomi's first time using Iron Master dumbbells. It's funny because from that angle, they look really sharp. And somebody in the comments said that he said it almost gave him a heart attack because of how sharp the dumbbell handles look. I find that funny when people say that they see stuff and it makes them like have that kind of anxiety response, because I've never seen somebody else doing something and had a visceral enough response for it to make me nervous. I'm like, I'm not there. But yeah, so people apparently saw this and got nervous. But I promise you that Naomi was completely safe, that those handles are not, in fact, Iron Master dumbbell handles are not, in fact, sharp enough to cut you. I mean, I guess you could probably find a way to hurt yourself with them, but we didn't have any issues. So I hope that puts all 77,000 of you who watched the video at ease. Now we just, as because the way life goes, we got home and our Anchor Pro had just been delivered. So now we have an Anchor Pro, and the reason we got it is because we want to use it at my parents' place, right? For those of you who don't remember, their place doesn't have anywhere for a home gym. So what we do when we go there is they have a guest room, and all of our gym equipment is stored in there. So some of it's under the bed, some of it's in a corner. So we have our infinity bench from Exponent Edge. It's standing up in the corner. We've got the Iron Master dumbbells sitting at the sitting right next to on the floor, right next to the infinity bench. The cardboard box they came in is actually what we have them on, because they've got hardwood floors and we don't want to damage the floors. We have our old walking pad style treadmill is there. That's under the bed. And we're going to take the Anchor Pro up there and we're going to leave that up there as well. We need 2 more items to make it work though, because again, they don't have anywhere to put a home gym, and we can't bolt anything to the wall. They don't have any trees outside that we could attach the Anchor Pro to. So this is the plan. Y'all let me know what you think of this, right? We're going to go with an Edge core post from Exponent Edge. All right, so let me show you guys what that is. All right, so this is an Edge core post. It's basically one of those, all right? But we're not going to bolt it. So it's basically an upright, an independent upright, but we're not going to bolt it to the wall. Instead, we're going to combine it with one of these here devices, which is a receiver. Basically, it's a power rack receiver hitch, right? This one is from Cara Metal. So you put that in your receiver on your SUV, and then you take the upright like Ryan's doing right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mount the Anchor Pro to it. And that way, that'll be how we do all of our cable work when we're at my parents'. So we'll do where you guys saw us doing our workout was their back deck. And so we're going to do all of our dumbbell work, cardio, all that kind of stuff is going to be in there. And then when we want to do cable work, we're going to go outside and use this setup that I just described with the edge core post, and then the receiver from Cara Metal, and we'll use that to do all of our cable stuff. So I'm excited about that because again, it's a case of solutions from the home gym community, that originally we didn't need, because prior to this coming up, we didn't need an anchor because we've got a cable system. In fact, we actually just had a new functional trainer delivered, so we'll be switching to that and replacing our Bells of Steel single stack with the new functional trainer. But we didn't need an anchor, and I'm not into Voltra, so yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. If you guys have, let's see here. Carb said I should use that in a Synergy upright to make one of those. If we had, we still have leftover parts from when we put up our Delta Synergy Custom Fitness Delta rack. If we had a Synergy upright, we would have just used that. But yeah, I think it's a great idea, especially. And in fact, I recommend it to Angel and Sandra, because when Angel and Sandra were driving, they drove from California to Louisville, right? And they kept on trying to find places where they could work out, because I think they had the bullet pulley set up, and they didn't. And when you're the way that they went, actually, when you're on that side of the country, unless you're up, further towards the north, like you drive the top half of the country from west coast to east. If you're driving the bottom from southwest to the east coast, you're going to go through a lot of areas where there aren't any trees, which is something I was telling them. I was like, look, I said, you're not going to see trees till you hit Oklahoma. And even in Oklahoma, you're not going to see a lot of trees. So for those who don't know, I was talking to Angel on the phone like 4:00 in the morning, right? And he said they were going to try to find somewhere to work out. I said, man, you better find a lamppost, because there's going to be nowhere. So I actually recommended the setup that I just showed you guys to him. I said, the next time you guys go on a road trip, you should try something like this. So yeah. JB said, small developing announcement. After HomeGymCon, I linked up Max Strength with Mike from Anchor. He's going to develop a J-Cup style mount for the Pro, so you can do one-handed easy mounting. For the Anchor Pro. Okay. You linked up Max Strength with Mike from Anchor. Okay. That sounds like that's a so I did not see the Max Strength booth. You said Max Strength. He developed something like that for the Voltra. Okay. All right. That sounds like a good deal. I mean, I just think it makes the functionality a whole lot better, because then you don't have to worry about the strap. So that's a good thing too. I like that. What's this here? Okay, so just got a DM from Harry. The tough thing whenever I get when people message me during the show, or if you actually in general, don't text me during the show, because it's gonna end up distracting me. But this is actually important, so I need to send this to Harry, because we're going to be talking about curl timber, or we're scheduled to talk about curl timber next week. And we can't do that if he doesn't book himself on the calendar. So I'm sending this to him right now. All right, there we go. So now he can book himself. All right, cool. So now I can say, there you go. I don't know what you're talking about, Brian. Yeah, I see your comment, but I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Anyway, then Naomi also, by the way, got we have some new kettlebells. We replaced our so we've got our kettlebells are from a bunch of different companies, right? And we replaced all of our Rep Fitness kettlebells with some kettlebells from a company called Pro Kettlebell. So let me go ahead and pull them up. Pro Kettlebell. They're an interesting brand because first of all, I had never heard of them, but Donnie from Addicts introduced me to them. Get out of here. I hate pop-ups with a passion. And now I'm part of the problem because you get pop-ups when you come on our store website, but I absolutely hate pop-ups. Especially when like I don't mind the first one, I come on your website and there's like one because I know you're trying to get my email address, but when you have multiples, it just drives me nuts. And usually what happens is I just leave your website and I try not to ever come back. But anyway, so this is the kettlebells. And what's different about them is like I said, they're pro kettlebells. So the bottom of them, that's not how ours look, but yeah, so the bottom of them is hollow, right? You can actually put magnetic add-on weights in there. But they're designed so that all the kettlebells are the same size. So unlike for example, we had an 8-kilogram one that was noticeably smaller than my 48-kilogram kettlebell. And is it 48? It's 100 something pounds. I think that's 48 kilograms. Anyway, but with these, all the kettlebells are the same size because they're competition style. And these are our first competition style kettlebells. And competition style are like that because that way everybody's dealing with the same diameters. You don't have to deal with different size kettlebells. It keeps things even for everybody. So those are the kettlebells that we're going to be using up at my parents' house too. We're taking them up there. And so now we have a kettlebell collection up there as well. So we got a nice little home gym away from home that's all set up. No. Okay, I understand. Is there a way you can attach bands to the roof to do pull down with bands? No, there's not. We're gonna basically everything we do is gonna be as far as cables and stuff like that, it's gonna be with that setup that I just showed. That's the whole reason why why we wanted to get the anchor and that setup with the back and the receiver hitch, because no, there's not any way to do anything like that. I mean, I guess I could, and literally there's not even a tree. There's not even a tree that you could use to attach a band to. So yeah. All right. Speaking of Harry, let's talk about Curl Timber right now, because Kevin said he wanted to know about it. So Curl Timber, get rid of this and this and this, doing a little bit of cleanup. Curl Timber is coming, and let's go to the official Curl Timber website. So Kevin, I hope you're still watching. So Curl Timber is essentially a what is this? Get out of here. Curl Timber is essentially a raffle, and the rules are a little different. The rules are a little different from stuff like the Garage Gym competition, which you guys may be already familiar with. But as I understand it, Harry's gonna make a separate Instagram post for every sponsor throughout the month of September, right? And posts are made randomly, so you got to follow him, and I guess you got to turn on your notifications or just check his Instagram every day. And what you have to do is you like the post and you tag 2 people in the comments, and then you got to follow Harry and the sponsor's Instagram account, and then you got to share it to your story. All right, so so he'll post something related to one of the Curl Timber sponsors. You like the post. You tag 2 people in the comments. Do not tag me. Only reason I say that is because everybody always ends up tagging Garage Gym Life and stuff like this, and I end up like with 1,000 tags for the same thing. It's very distracting. So anyway, so to enter, people you got to like the post. You tag 2 people in the comments, and then you got to follow at HomeGym_Harry and whoever the sponsor is. You got to follow that Instagram account. Then you got to share the post to your story, and then they choose a winner at random. And they also say, do a curl and post your video and tag Harry and the sponsor and use their curl timber hashtag. So there are a number of sponsors. I want to say he got most of the sponsors from last year back. But I want to make sure that I talk about this because this is a collaboration that also benefits charity. Okay, so this is Hard Work Athletics, and it's a collaboration. So that's where you can go to get your curl timber merch, and $10 from every item sold is going to be donated to Catch Up to Cancer. So that is a good cause. You guys can see the pre-order was started August 1st to August 11th, but I believe that they still have let's make sure. I believe they still have some in stock. So we are obviously past the pre-order point. So I would assume that if you make, and I'll ask Harry when he comes on to confirm this, but I assume if you go ahead and you place your order now, it's not a pre-order and you'll be able to get your stuff a lot faster. So they got these curl timber shorts. And they've got the cutoff tee and a curl timber t-shirt. And like I said, $10 from every purchase goes to support. It will be donated to Catch Up to Cancer. So that's a good cause. You guys make sure you support that. And then if you have any questions about curl timber, Harry should be on next week, and you guys can ask him more questions at that time. All right, moving on. Here. All right, now let's talk about channel news. And this is the audience participation part of the show because I need to know what you guys want. We've got multiple booth tour videos still waiting to be shown. But I want to know, because I don't want to like flood your timeline with stuff that you're not interested in. So which HomeGymCon video out of the ones that we have that are unpublished do you guys want to see next? So your options are Freedom Fitness Equipment, GMWD, Get RX, the Core Strength video is still waiting to be published as well. That one features my brother in it. So if you guys want to see his product or his booth tour review debut, yeah, then you're going to go ahead and vote for that one. Also, coated gi grips. So let me go back through your options again. Freedom Fitness Equipment, Get RX, Kodo gi grips, GMWD, Core Strength. So out of those, you're going to see them all, but which one do you guys want to see first? Go ahead and put your answer in the chat. If you're watching on replay, just post your answer in the comment section. And that'll be the first. Whichever one gets the most votes, that's the one that I'm going to publish first. Obviously, it's going to go to, and then the members will see him first. But yeah. All right. So we got 1 vote for Core Strength. All right. There you go. 2 votes for Core Strength. All right. Okay. Keep the votes coming. Keep the votes coming. So there you go. It's 1 for Core, 2 for Core Strength. All right. Keep the votes coming. So far, we got 2 votes and no votes for anything else. So Core Strength is winning. We do have some other videos coming up on the channel. We got Naomi. Naomi has done a dehumidifier video. What in the heck? Yeah. We have upgraded our dehumidifier to a bigger one in the gym. And so Naomi's got that video that she did. That's going to be coming out. We actually were all done but then the brand asked us to add some more stuff to the video. So we said, all right, so that video is coming. And then we've been experimenting with a meal. Oh, look at that. Here we go. Core strength. You can't vote twice. Carp, you can't vote twice. All right. So core strength. All right. Look at this. This is biased. Mommy voted for Boo as well. All right. Another video we have coming is Naomi and I have been experimenting with a it's a meal prep delivery service called Cooked, and the food's pretty good. So that video is going to be coming out soon, where we're just talking about how we both use it, how each of us uses it in our process. You guys know that we're both in like a physique transformation journey. Naomi's further along in hers than I am, but yeah, Cooked recently became part of the process, so we'll let you guys know about that. Then she's got some headphones. In fact, she was wearing these headphones for today. I don't know if you guys noticed them, but yes, we had another company send her headphones. So now she's got 15 pairs of headphones. So we'll be doing that video. One of them, and then she's got a speaker system that goes on her bike. So she can't use it during triathlons, but when she's just basically cycling, like in training, she can use it. So that video is coming out soon. It's from a company called Tribit. So that's going to be coming out. Fuego, he said, I finally made the live stream. I wish I knew it started earlier. Yeah, man. 6 a.m. Eastern time. But I appreciate you being here. Every Friday, 6 a.m. Eastern time, we're here. And some people are here earlier than that, because when I get up, I have to start the show prep at 4 a.m. I come in here at 4 a.m. and there are people already putting comments in the live chat. So that's that's crazy. But I love it. I love the support. Hey, man, you cannot be telling people to vote. You can't be influencing the voters. What we're doing right now, Fuego, is we're voting for which video, which HomeGymCon booth tour video we put out next. And so far, core strength is the number one, the leader in the clubhouse. I also want to know who your favorite home gym content creator is. So go ahead and post that in the chat as well. All right. Now, you guys may or may not have seen this. But if I could just get to my utility belt. All right. So did you guys see I went live with Flow Motion Fitness yesterday? When Holly told me she wanted me to do it, I thought she was going to make me like go through, we're obviously talking about mobility work because those are my mobility coaches, right? And I thought that I was going to have to like demonstrate the mobility stuff I do to get ready to work out, right? And so I get downstairs, I'm already, it's like 7 a.m. and I'm already ready. I'm like, all right, we're going to go ahead and do this. And then it ended up being just a conversation, but I still think it was a cool conversation. So if you have not seen it, it is still available on my Instagram. Because I know a lot of us a lot of y'all just ignore mobility work. I used to be the same way. I wasn't into it. I said, this is a waste of time. I don't have the patience for it. Well, then it became important because I ended up going to the hospital because I got injured at a powerlifting meet, and they got even more important because they were talking about surgery. I strained my rotator cuff. Yeah. And so ever since, so I'm actually, in some ways, I'm more mobile than I was in my 30s, at least when it comes to my upper body. I'm not as mobile in my lower body because I just haven't put the time in, but that's easily fixable. That's correctable. So yeah, we had some really good responses. And so we're trying to do more stuff like that. So go ahead, do me a favor, go over to that. Oh, JB said, okay, I saw that. I never heard of them before. I'm following Flow Motion now. Yeah, they've been my mobility coaches for quite some time. In fact, I got a video on the YouTube channel. I've had them here on the show a few times, but I want to let's see here. Where there's a I'm trying to remember. I have to find it, but basically any kind of mobility stuff that you see on the channel from maybe 2018. Actually, yeah, all the mobility stuff that you see on the channel from maybe 2019 on is related to Flow Motion Fitness because they're the ones who were doing all my mobility programming. I started out with one-to-one programming because I was like tight and messed up, right? I used to have to go to the chiropractor at least once a week just to get adjusted. Other than if I didn't, I wouldn't even be able to sleep all the way through the night. But since I started working with them, I mean, it was a process, but now I'm at the point where I don't go to chiropractor at all anymore. Could I still go? Sure. But I don't need to go, if that makes sense. And I'm a big fan of that because time is really, really tight for me. So I'm a big fan of theirs. I'll find the video where I talk about their app and go a little bit more in depth into their work, into what they've done for me. But yeah, one thing I really like about them is they don't make mobility a separate thing. Instead, it's more like old school, real old school bodybuilding, right? So like where you're where you're not just lifting weights to get bigger, but you're also lifting weights. You're using your weight training as a way to improve your body's ability to be strong and move in any direction without pain. So yeah, people think of like weight training making you muscle bound and tight, but in reality, it should. If you do it correctly, it makes you a better athlete. Let's see here. Carp said my Macola video will drop today or tomorrow if it ever uploads. 18 hours right now. Good Lord. That's rough. That's rough. Good Lord. Hey, man. Well, when it comes out, I was a big fan of the Macola booth. And in fact, I think Macola should have won Most Improved Booth. But, because to me, their booth was 10 times better this year than it was last year. I was a huge fan of what they did. In fact, here's a little fun fact. If anybody remembers, like you guys remember the guy with the red beard that was at the Macola booth? He was helping to run the competition. I did not realize that he lives in Vietnam until I saw his social media, and he's actually going through a physique transformation as well. So yeah, it's I love that they brought in somebody who is to kind of be at their booth. Like they invested not just in having a much better looking booth, but they also invested in people who could come and had the right temperament and attitude to be welcoming to the home gym community. And he did an awesome job. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so anyway, back with the Flow Motion Fitness thing. We're gonna be doing more stuff like that. We're planning on doing it the next time we're gonna do it on YouTube, because I just think YouTube is a better place for that kind of content than Instagram. For one thing, it's searchable. Instagram, and since it's more like a podcast, I don't think Instagram is a good platform for a podcast. Instagram is like pretty much people go on Instagram to see you do something, right? Like they want to see you do something, actually perform a movement or demonstrate something, right? No, I don't go on Instagram to hear people talk. So my suggestion is that we just move it over to YouTube and just do it here on YouTube. And that way it'll be a little bit more podcast style. And we're also looking at anybody who wants to have like there's a limit to how much she can help you just looking at you, but they do a thing. This will be a version of what the step one is from when you go to start working with them. What they'll do is they'll have you do like a movement screen. So anybody who's interested in doing something like that, you can let us know, and then you'll be able to DM like your video, and then she'll be able to give you feedback during the next time we do our stream together, if that makes sense, right? So it'll be kind of like when I have people come on here and y'all like share your workout videos, and then they critique your bench form or your squat form or whatever. It'll be the same thing, but it'll be more geared towards mobility. So let's say you can't put your arms over your head without pain or whatever, right? She'll look at you and say, well, maybe you need to try this, and give you some quick suggestions that don't replace going to the doctor or actually getting, dedicated help, but it'll get you going in the right track. So yeah. Oh yeah, he's a celebrity. Yeah. And I'll tell you later. So this is a little bit of a tangent. So I'll you know what? Let me go ahead and I'll pull him up. Let's see here. I'll pull him up right here. All right, and look at his. I'm gonna pull up his YouTube as well. Because this kind of thing. I think it's a. All right, so yeah, there we go. All right, so I thought this was really cool because so he's got 172,000 followers. He's on television. I believe he's on television in Vietnam. But all you who met him could attest to how humble he was. He didn't act like he was any big shot or anything like that. And Naomi and I were talking about it, and we're like, that's a sign that somebody's secure. He's got 540,000 YouTube subscribers. And again, so he's got 172,000 Instagram followers, 540 YouTube subscribers. And he was just I thought it was cool. Like he was relating to all the content creators who came up, and he never acted like he was better than anybody else. And I just love seeing that, because again, it just shows somebody who's confident and knows who they are. They don't have to put on airs and anything like that. All right. So I thought that was real cool. Oh, he's on Netflix too. Okay, yeah, you go. Yeah. I'm telling you, the dude is like, he's legit. He could, of all the people in the place who could have put on airs, he could have, and he did not. Right. But the other thing that I think is should be encouraging to you guys is, and I bring this up all the time, you think about how big his following is, and yet you had never heard of him, right? So that means he still has opportunities to grow, right? And it's the same thing for you. There are tons of people out there who don't know who you are, but it just means that you have an opportunity to grow and you can be successful. And so that whenever I see stuff like that, that just encourages me. Ashley said he was great to meet. Yeah, he was a cool dude. Just completely cool dude. Like I said, he wasn't put on airs, no entourage, no nothing. And I'll just leave that there. Okay. Speaking of Ashley, I assume this is what you're doing right now. All right. Hey, and once again, though, I said I don't know if this is really Ashley because unless you say hey, I don't know if that's you. All right. So, but we'll assume that it is. All right. So Ashley and you guys may have seen the video she did where she was responding to, I think his name is Kevin Richardson. Yeah. So Kevin Richardson is a bodybuilding veteran, and he was one of those people who made one of those videos telling you that protein powder is evil. And yeah, okay. And I finally just got tired of seeing that kind of stuff because I understand that those kind of videos are put out on YouTube. Number one, to get you to click on it and watch it. And number two, to try to sell you something, right? So I reached out to Ashley and I asked her to do a rebuttal video, right? So that video is still on the channel. But then we said we're going to build on that. And so we're going to turn it into a regular series. There we go. Hey. Okay, so we know. Okay, perfect. All right. So we know it's really her. Anyway, so we've got this is a nutrition series. So that video I'm going to say is part of the nutrition series, but we're going to keep on going, right? So right now we're planning this as a monthly segment because Ashley's working on her doctorate. She's got all the other stuff she's got going on too, right? So we don't want to overwhelm her, but we're planning on it being a monthly series that's going to be on her channel and on the Garage Gym Life channel. So it's going to be a monthly collab. And the upload for this month is going to cover how to calculate your calories and how to break down your macros based upon your training style. And then we've also discussed how to fuel yourself before, during, and after training. So it's basically going to be focused on nutrition, like how to fuel yourself as an athlete. It's going to be yet another kind of like podcast style entry on the channel that that you can just you can basically watch or listen to at any time. And one of the things that people have told me when I'm always trying to get feedback. One of the things that people told me that they want to see more of on the channel is stuff that they can learn something from, but that's also in short, easily to digest clumps. I mean, this is a 3-hour show, right? So it's kind of rough. For me, this is perfect because I can put stuff like this on while I'm at work because I work at night. I just put something on in the background and listen. Or even like yesterday when I was fighting with Shopify stuff, I just had on long videos. And I like longer videos because I don't feel like having to constantly change it, right? Okay, now I got to watch something else. Okay, let me find something else. I don't want that. So give me a good long video I can just have on, right? But I understand that for some of you guys, you want something that you can digest. Like I'm driving to work. It's a 45-minute drive, done. Or it's a 20-minute, I'm going to be on the train. I need 20 minutes, easy to digest. And so I don't get lost, right? So we're trying to do more stuff like that. And this is going to be everything in this series is going to be something along those lines. So if you have an idea for something that Ashley could include in that series, go ahead and reach out to her and let her know. You can DM on Instagram or however you get in touch with her. And then she's going to go ahead and take that feedback and use it to create more videos because we want to make stuff that you guys want to see, not just pushing out information, but kind of like making like an interaction where we're giving you what you want to know, filling in the gaps in your knowledge, not just regurgitating stuff you've heard multiple times before, if that makes any sense. All right. And let's see here. Fuego said, Ashley looks familiar. He said, I saw her review of that bullet cable system a few months ago. Her dad's an OG home gym scientist. Yes. Ashley's dad has a home gym, and he's the reason why she has a home gym. So heck yeah. I'm glad. There you go. So you already know. You already know how she knows her stuff. She's got the street cred. As well as being an IFBB pro. She's Army Ranger. She used to jump out of airplanes that had nothing wrong with them. but she does have jump wings. So yeah, she's got a ton of qualifications. I thought she was just the perfect person to have do this nutrition segment because I didn't want to get. She's got the research scientist side of things, and she's also got the what they call in the trenches knowledge. So I just thought she was perfect for that. Rex said he's a fan of that video as well. There you go. I'm telling you, I think this is going to be perfect. Ashley, you just got a new subscriber. My brother just subscribed to you. So there you go. All right. So I'll move this to the next thing. And we're about to get into the Mountain Time Zone. So let's go ahead and play this from our friends at Gorilla Strength. And then we'll be ready to bring our All right, you guys can find my favorite Gorilla Strength product by going to GarageGymLifeMedia.com. It is the Garage Gorilla Bar, which is the first true 45-pound knurled exo bar with powerlifting neural markings. So it mimics your powerlifting barbell. It is the perfect accessory if you're trying to get that bench press right and without increasing your joint pain or anything else like that. All right, so you guys go ahead. Go to GarageGymLifeMedia.com, look up Garage Gorilla Bar. You'll be supporting this channel and you'll be supporting good people at Gorilla Strength Equipment. Let's see, it is close enough to 8 o'clock that I'll take it. So shout out to the Mountain Time Zone. Thank you guys for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. Please hit the like button, hit subscribe if you have not already done so. Got to get that algorithm working the right way. Let YouTube know that this is more the content that you want to see. Also, if you're watching on replay, shout out to Replay Gang. I need you guys to hype this video for the exact same reason, because it gets the word out there. It helps the channel grow. Remember, we are trying to get to 500,000 subscribers by Christmas, and we can't do that unless all 17,000 of you who are watching hit like, hit subscribe, hit hype, and then share the video with at least one other person. We appreciate all of your support. Appreciate you guys being here to hang out with us, because that means that you guys are here to see Mythic, as we are introduced to Sean and Madison. They are the husband and wife team behind Mythic, which is an equipment brand that made a very successful debut at HomeGymCon 2026. They both have a deep history in the gym equipment space. Now they're striking out on their own with the goal to address the problems that other brands have ignored up to now. I am excited to learn all about their journey with you. So get your questions ready and give them a warm welcome as I bring them live. All right. So Sean, Madison, you guys ready? Yeah. They said they're nodding. So it's too late to take it back. Here they come. Too late now. Hey!
Hey,
They're like, this guy is so, why does he have so much energy right now?
no, it's weird to like be on it and not watching it. So
That's hilarious. Hey, I appreciate you guys being here, man. So we're gonna dive headfirst into the first thing, the thing that's been on my mind. It wasn't on my mind when I first asked you guys to come on the show, but it was on my mind as I started researching you, because obviously I'm Googling, right? And I'm like, whoa, Mythic this takes you down some rabbit holes when you Google Mythic. So what about the name Mythic made it the right choice for your brand? Because I assume you guys already knew, hey, Mythic is gonna have some other connotations. But what about the name Mythic made it the right choice for your brand?
It's funny. We can't quite remember where the name originally came from. I think it just came out one day and we were like, that's it. And we've said it so many times that it sounds like the name to us at this point.
Okay.
I'll tell you a funny story. 2 years ago, we were driving to Chicago and we had obviously filed for the trademark for Mythic. And we get an email from our lawyer that there is some guy in New York who's selling squat wedges on Amazon, and he had filed a trademark for mythical strength or it was something close.
Right.
So we were panicking. We were like, oh, it's over. It's over from day one. We're so dead. And then we waited him out for another 1.5 years. So it was like 6 months later, it lapsed. He re-upped it. 6 months later, it lapsed again. He didn't re-up it. And finally, we got it. So we've had the name in our heads for 3 years, but it wasn't officially ours until like 1 year ago.
Okay, so Carlos said, excellent name, guys. And I'm going to tell you guys, so when I started the thing, obviously your Instagram is Mythic Equipment, right? And in fact, everybody make sure they that you are following them on Instagram. So everybody go follow at Mythic Equipment on Instagram. But so I started with that because my assumption was, okay, well, that must be what their company name is too, right? So I Google Mythic Equipment, and I'll just show you what popped up when I go, because I saved the search. I said, oh, this is something. All right, so let's go. All right, so Mythic Equipment. All right, so that pulled up. All right, but then it says AI was like, well, actually, if you mean in World of Warcraft, and it started giving me this long rabbit hole of mythic gear. So I now didn't have this information before because I didn't play World of Warcraft. Now I know how to do mythic raiding. I know all about the great vaults, high-end crafting. There's a nice little rabbit hole of people who dress up as elves, I guess, and dwarves. Carlos does that kind of thing. But that's what I mean. It's like, on the one hand, it might seem strange, but because I am enough of a Skyrim nerd to remember crafting, it kind of also still fits in with the fact that you guys are making gym equipment, and based upon like all your mad scientist ideas that you're having, Sean. So do you, in your head, are you a bearded dwarf actually?
Well, half of my family's Norwegian, so maybe.
That's
oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, shout out the Norwegianers watching live, and my mom. My mom's watching live, so.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Well, and here we go. We already got comments coming. So Rex said, when I visited the Mythic booth, I was tremendously impressed by both the people and the product. I think both of those are important. One of the best innovations I saw. Based upon me looking at your Facebook page, I would assume you guys heard a lot of that in person and you've seen it online. Is that accurate?
Yes, we were. I mean, we hoped to get a very strong response post HomeGymCon, but we've been in the community for years. I'm a big home gym Discord user, so I've been in that Discord for really 3 years, lurking. And just to actually meet all these people and them get so excited about the equipment was very life affirming, because we've been working on this behind the scenes for 3 years, stressing like, oh, what if this was a mistake? What if, we really just absolutely messed up our entire financial future? So to get the response, thank you. You'll keep us from having to get divorced and going bankrupt.
Yeah, well, we don't want that. Okay. I like how Sean was like, divorced. What? What? Let's see here. So we got our first question. Fuego, my guy, Fuego 4466 said, the Mythic sells J cups and spotter arms with 1-inch adjustments. I could answer that, but I'll let you guys answer because this is your baby. Go ahead.
We don't sell anything yet. But yeah, so our first products are height adjusting rack attachments, standard J cups, roller J cups, and spotter arms. And then we also have our leg developer, leg extension, lying leg curl, rack attached or bench attached. And then we also have our rack system and our bench with the gapless hinge, also coming out next year.
So this is now you guys know what. So Sean's role in the company seems to be he designs the stuff and he's like the eye candy. He's like, all right, I'm the demo. You're the Vanna White, right?
I'm the one. Someone needs to film this or be on camera, so go do it.
There you go. All right. And then this is the spotter arm, the height adjusting J cup and height adjusting spotter arms. I would say that's the thing that really caught my eye, because it's okay. So it's like a different approach to it's like an oblique angle to solve this problem, because you had like the 5/8 people and you got the 1 inch, and we had like, okay, well, the first solution that I saw was obviously keyhole. So you just change the upright. So now you got both holes. You guys went the other way and said, well, why don't you just make it so that you can have both sides attachments, or on the same on each attachment you have this, you can have a way for each to put it in either 5/8 or 1 inch just by flipping it upside down. That seems a lot simpler. Why did nobody else think of that?
That's
Well,
some people have.
Yes, yeah,
different
we're not
iterations.
the first to do it.
Okay.
The way that we did it with the offset pen, I don't think anyone else has done it that way. But yeah, we think it should be more prevalent.
And we've had 5/8 racks in our home gym. We've had 1 inch racks in our home gym, and it's like, this is a common problem, common enough that we're standing there going, really, there's not good options for this. Oh, you can buy different J cups if you want to lower it, or get some other options. But we're like, no, I think we can do something here.
It's like so I've had a home gym since 2000. Well, I've had a home workout space since 2001. I got my first power rack, I want to say probably in 2002. So my first attachments were 1 inch because that's what was available, right? Then the much later I ended up with my first 5/8 rack. Well, by this time I'm attached. I had like some custom attachments that were 1 inch. I don't want to get rid of them. And so it was like I had to make a choice, and I'm like, so I was so glad when the keyhole idea came out, because that way I don't have to make that choice anymore. But it would have been so much easier if I know, okay, well, we could just flip it upside down. I just think, to me, that's like essentially the way forward for people who don't want to like change out all their uprights. Jared loves your parents. He said,
I love his parents too.
So Sean's parents were awesome. Helped them unload their trailer. I think they drove from Colorado. Is that correct?
They came from Georgia. We're from Georgia originally.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. Look at that. All right. Are you guys in Georgia right now?
No, we're in Colorado right now.
In Colorado, but you're from
Georgia. We came here to Colorado together in 2020.
Okay.
2020.
What part of Georgia are you from?
Just north of Atlanta. So I'm from Canton. And
I'm from Gainesville.
All right, I'm in Dallas. Okay. All right, cool.
Nice.
Okay. Cool. That didn't mean anything to the rest of y'all, but
maybe it did.
It did. Well, see, when I say Dallas, people are like, Georgia? I didn't know there was a Dallas, Georgia. I'm like, yeah, we actually
Florida.
We have Houston also. Oh, Houston,
yeah.
Whatever, yeah. Eric Eccles, what's up, man? Hope you're having a good day at work. He said, I'm 54% Norwegian. I'm too tall to be a dwarf.
Sean's not tall.
That's not my fault. So I can't help you, Eric. All I can tell you is stay away from the Germans, although Eric takes great pride in out drinking the Germans every time ATX comes to America. So we'll just leave it at that. Carlos said, I don't dress like a Smurf. I dress like a Smurf. Carlos, I don't have time to go looking for it right now, but Carlos has shared video with me, and I've shared it on this show, where he was dressed like a dwarf and had a cosplay axe battle at a movie theater with somebody else that he's somehow convinced to dress up like that. So I'm sticking with what I said. You dwarf. All right. So we, going back to the name thing, because we faced like a similar issue with our name. Somebody else had the Instagram handle Garage Gym Life when we started. 2 other people at Garage Gym Life as their Facebook page. And to this day, people are still checking in at Garage Gym Life. They don't even know anything about us, but they just mean, well, I worked out in my garage, which is fine by me. And then somebody else still owns the URL garagegymlife.com. So the point of it is, like, we've spent the past 10 years basically reclaiming our online identity. Like, hey, well, that should be ours. We've had to send in like our business and corporation information, the trademark certificates to all the different platforms. Is this something that you guys are like, hey, you know what? I don't want to be Mythic Equipment, because I remember the conversation I had with Madison. It's like, we want to be Mythic. So is this a hill you're prepared to die on? Like, we're going for it until when people think Mythic, they think of us and not Skyrim.
Yeah, 100%. I'm pretty sure it's roguefitness.com, but people call them Rogue. I don't think anyone's walking around saying Fringe Sport. So not uncommon that your URL has to be a little bit different. And then my entire background is based on SEO for 5+ years. So got a long history of like helping people reclaim authority online. So I feel like we're well prepared to do it.
Okay. All right. So a lot of people know you guys as a brand from the videos from HomeGymCon, but your journey started well before that. You guys were with Rep Fitness. And then as far as Mythic goes, you filed your patent for your bench on October 22nd, 2024. Was that a provisional or a full patent? Okay. All right. So you get the provisional patent.
That was the filing date for the provisional. It's since converted to a full patent.
Okay. Okay. So this is like a significant, for people who don't understand, you guys have already sunk a lot of money into this. As you were saying earlier, it's like, I'm glad, you're saying how happy you were that people actually like the stuff. It had to be nerve-wracking though when you first say, okay, let's do this thing, because you're leaving a very stable, good company in order to strike out on your own. Why was that important for you? And I want to hear from both of you about, like, what was it like? What made this your the best alternative? Like, hey, this is a journey we need to take.
So Mythic was not the original like purpose or goal. We both got new jobs, so we didn't just jump straight into Mythic full time. Okay. And actually, I started the LLC and I think it was March of 2023, and we were not going to make equipment. I did it because I just believed that Sean was such a talented engineer and designer, and I was really forcing him. I was like, you could make designs and sell them. You could consult. And I just really believed that he had this in him. And then I think even it was a few months later. So honestly, it just sat there for a few months. And then he started noodling. And that's when he came up with the bench hinge. So really, Mythic kind of snowballed after some time. But this was not the original goal or vision. It just something that built up as we got more excited, had more ideas.
Yeah, it just turned out that we both had very complementary skills to be able to do this ourselves. Okay. So there's still a lot of things that we're learning, but yeah, luckily some of course we know.
Yeah. I just said it because this was more of a case of you got different jobs and you just realized that your passion was going to be somewhere else. Because like I know, Madison, you said on the podcast before the Kilroy report that basically your thing is you like getting into something on the ground floor and building it from the ground up. So was that the case? It's like, okay, these jobs pay well, but that's not where my heart is. Is that kind of like what it was for you?
I also think we're just so passionate about the home gym space. We've had a home gym since before we worked in the space. This is our third one that we've built. And we just love it. We just love it so much. And I think it was more a case of we did not want to be out of this industry. So it was very appealing to us to get back into it and be able to make the equipment that we wanted to make.
Okay. So this is one of the things that maybe nobody else wants to know about, but I want to know. And then we got some more questions in the chat. But if I don't do this now, I'll never get this question out. I really want to know this. You were working for a company, Sean, that developed aluminum solutions for trade shows and whatnot, right? Yep. Did that help you at all? Like in terms of even having contacts, like, oh, I know where to get that stuff so we can set up our booth. How did that help you with HomeGymCon?
Luckily, we went to HomeGymCon year before this year as well to scope it out.
Okay, just as attendees?
Yeah, because I have designed some structures for really large scale booths. So in my head, I was like, we need this, we need that, we got to do all this. And we went and we're like, okay, good thing we didn't go overboard here.
All right, so you got to restrain yourself. I got it. Okay. Well, despite that, JB said Mythic was one of my favorite booths. He said I was out of filming mode on Saturday, but after trying out their stuff, I had to turn on the camera and film. I can see that because like people don't understand. You love making. I mean, I love making content, right? But you hit a point of like diminishing returns where it's like, okay, I've been to all these booths and it's like, and I want to bring like the passion to it. I don't want to feel like I'm just kind of like going through the motions. So I completely understand what he means by that. But then sometimes you see something, you're like, oh, I was tired, but now I'm excited. Yeah, I got to do this. So what was it like for you guys to see that light going in people's eyes when they saw like your products and said, oh, that's different? Or that's not what I imagined. This is even beyond what I imagined. What's that like for you guys?
It was great because over the past 2 years trying to explain it to our families, they go, okay, I don't get it. You know, a move's an inch. That's
so you
cool.
flip it upside down. Great.
So cool, guys. I'm so proud of you. So like people that actually understood it, it was amazing to finally have people that they knew, they got it. They totally understood what we were doing.
Yeah.
Now, did you say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
People. They're like, are you sure you want to be doing this with your life savings?
That's hilarious. So Madison, you say your parents are watching?
My mom, yeah.
You know, so your mom is she starting to see now? Oh, actually, y'all are a big deal. She's starting to see that.
My mom's a blind faith believer. From day one, she could not tell you what I'm doing, but she believes it'll be done and done well. So she's my bestie. So shout out my mom.
Hey, shout out to mom. So like, I have no idea what this is, but it's kind of like my mother when I joined the Marine Corps. Maybe 3 months after I had been in the Corps, like after I graduated from Parris Island, I realized that my mother had more Marine Corps related like merch than I did. Because she went to Parris Island to see me graduate, right? And somehow, and I guess she just bought up the entire. I'm like, when did you have time to get all this stuff? Because it's like come to graduation and leave, right? And she had like I'm talking about a closet full of shirts and stickers, and she had the license plate. And then 2 of my sons joined the Marine Corps, so now she's got the license plate. I'm the mother of a Marine. My grandkids are Marines. I'm just like, she to this day has more Marine Corps stuff than I do. So I just think that like when you're a mom, I guess you just kind of like go all in because your kid is the greatest, right? So I think that's awesome. So let's talk about your background a little bit, Madison. We mentioned the thing with Rep Fitness, but you do have, as you said, a deep understanding of SEO, marketing, e-commerce, because you owned your own marketing agency. Talk about what some of the key elements were for you as you're getting ready to go to HomeGymCon. And then once you got there, like, okay, these are like what are your key performance indicators? Like, okay, now I know that this was a success. And these are the things we need to do. I know it doesn't make sense to you, Sean, but trust me, we need to do this right now. So talk about some of that, like how you try to make this HomeGymCon successful for Mythic.
Yeah, I think part of it was really pressuring Sean. I was like, we have to preview these products before. We have to get people interested in actually coming to the booth. We knew if we could get the content creators to come make content, we'd get enough eyes and get enough people to sign up on the list. It's funny, I've seen my favorite comment, and maybe it's the same guy, but he comments on all the videos and he goes, Mythic is nowhere close to coming to market. It's just some guy with no website. But it's funny because we did that on purpose. You know, all of those people now that are signed up for our email list, right, they would have come to the website, looked around and left. But now that there's nothing to look at, they can only sign up. We got their email, and then we can get them in later when we actually have product. So it was strategic that you can't look around the website quite yet because you have to give us your email. And there's a concept in marketing and brand building that to have a successful brand, all you need is 1,000 true fans. And so to me, that's a number that's stuck in my mind, that once we sort of surpass that number on our email list, I felt very confident that we'd be successful, because all you need to build a brand apparently is 1,000 people. So I would say we're north of that number for sure. Yeah, is very exciting for us.
So I love that you said that, because I know so many like YouTube content creators who are like, I wouldn't say like they're down on themselves because they're like, well, I only have 900 subscribers, right? Or 800. And I'm like, you're in the perfect spot. Just if these people are watching, okay, so if you're like us, when we started, my first 100 subscribers were family. And then I remember I reached out to people who I had served in the Marine Corps with. And I said, this makes no sense to you, but I need all of y'all to go sign up. First of all, create a YouTube account if you need one. But I need you to go and subscribe to this channel is going to be Garage Gym Life, because I wanted to get my own custom URL, and you had to have at least 100 in order to get it, right? So maybe there's a percentage of your subscribers who are that. From that point on, for people to watch a small channel means they're really, really into what you're talking about. You just have to build on that, because those become your ambassadors. And they'll they'll evangelize for you. They spread the word. They're the driving force. And for us, these are the core people who come on the show to watch the show all the time, right? Whereas you get a lot of people who are like kind of like passively in the background. They're like the bandwagon. They're like Kansas City Chiefs fans, right? They didn't know anything. Like 20 years ago, they didn't know anything they didn't even know Kansas City had a team, right? But now all of a sudden, oh yeah, I've been a Chiefs fans. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? So I love that you said, all right, we need to identify our core target audience, not like the casuals. How do you build on that though, to make these people go from, especially with all this anticipation, how do you build on that and say, okay, we made you a promise. Now we're delivering on that promise, because I want you to be even more excited for the next thing that's coming, and the next thing and the next thing. How do you build on that?
Yeah, I think it's just dripping out content. We're in the really unique position where we are a small founder-led brand, so we don't have to answer to a board of directors. We don't have to maintain a super corporate image. So a lot of our content will be part of that founder-led brand building journey. And I think what I love about the home gym community is they love content. It's very unique, because I've worked in many different e-commerce industries, beauty, tech, etc. And this one is so unique with how much they love following the actual companies. And so I think just being real and honest and being willing to be present in our content and sharing the behind the scenes of what's coming next will keep people locked in and interested in us as a brand, not just because we have great products, but we hope they also want to see us succeed.
What about you, Sean?
I mean, it's same. For me, it's like my job is more or less easy. I just get to make the products, and then that's the fun part for me. I think most of the people watching probably have good product ideas also, and they're just like, hey, if I could do this, I would.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, okay, I just make the products, and she just tells me to work harder, work faster.
That's hilarious.
Her job is much harder. It's getting all of this realized.
Yeah.
You know, I can make a J cup and no one would ever find it without her.
I paid him to say that.
Yeah, it's on me.
I think it's like there's so much, like, as I'm listening to you, it's like I'm like, yes, right? Because, for example, you were so when I made the suggestion, I said, hey, why don't you come on the show, because I wasn't able to come by your booth, right? Madison immediately said, yes, let's do it, right? Because you see the value of it. You would be amazed at how many brands I reach out to who say no, not because, and in some cases, it's because they don't like the fact that the audience is so big, because they're terrified they'll come on and it's live. They're terrified they'll come on and say something that will, I guess, destroy their. I'm like, you serious? How fragile is your brand that you could say one thing on one show and then the brand is destroyed? But they're like, well, we have to be very sensitive about what we say. Like you said, there's like the border. Everything has to be approved. And there's like a ton of back and forth. And sometimes it ends up like they just don't come on. But I found that every brand that has come on, it ends up benefiting them, because, as you said, our home gym community likes to know you. They want to know you. They want to know who they're spending money with. Like, I don't know if it's a case of like, I want to know what my money is going to be spent on, like, as opposed to it being like some faceless company or whatever. But I think that's a huge insight. Why do you think that's not like as common in the industry? Like, some of the bigger companies are just very, very, I don't know what to say, risk averse, but they don't want to be on anything in any media format that they don't control.
It's hard to say, because I personally think it's a mistake. And I'll use CrossFit kind of as an example. I think CrossFit's lack of media was kind of the death of CrossFit. When they fired their entire in-house media team and they stopped doing all those like amazing vlogs and Road to the Games and all that exposure. And like CrossFit, I mean, the CrossFit Games happened, and I didn't even realize this year. And I used to be a super fan. Yeah, it used to be just, I mean, I used to do CrossFit twice a day. I would go at a 5 a.m. workout and a 6 p.m. workout. I mean, I was obsessed, and now it's just in the wind. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen to any of these brands, but I think people really underestimate in what a digital world we've created post-COVID and working remotely, how much people crave community. And part of that community building is in content creation, and not speaking to your audience and speaking to your community, I think, is a disservice to them, because at the end of the day, like, these are people that are spending their hard-earned money with you, and part of spending their money, they also want to feel part of this community. So I think there's kind of a gap there sometimes with some of these companies where they could take that extra leap, and that's where you get that brand loyalty and the people that are just going to be obsessed with your brand for life.
Yeah, and I mean, so like in the case of like, and you can probably answer this even better, Sean, is like, there's only so many ways to make a barbell. Since Alan Calvert made the first loadable barbell, there have been very minimal changes, right? So it's like, well, if I'm deciding which barbell to buy, there's got to be something that differentiates it from this other barbell that looks just like it and feels just like it. You know, you can tell me all day about tensile strength and all these things that really don't matter to the average person. And, you know, but ultimately it comes down to, do I like you? Do I trust you? You know what I mean? Do I know you? It's know, like, and trust.
Every day. It's like, I mean, working out is a hobby too for a lot of people. And especially working out at home alone, you're kind of like, well, you know, I'm now just doing my hobby by myself. So you kind of want people to connect with, and you want products and companies that you kind of feel the same passion, or at least share it with.
Yeah, because I mean, and it's even when it comes down to the cost of the product. So, well, why should I pay this much for your product when I could get what looks like the exact same thing on Amazon?
Sometimes it is the exact same thing.
Yeah. Well, okay. And so here's another thing I don't like, right? So it looks the same, but then to the casual person, but then you say, oh, wait a minute, that's 16 gauge or 14 gauge steel, whereas this one that's more expensive is more expensive because it's 11 gauge steel, but the average person doesn't see that because they're just looking at the cost, right? And you can argue those technical specs with them all day, but it comes back to I'm only going to spend that much money if I look at it like, oh, Sean and Madison make that product. I'm going to support Sean and Madison. Not like, even the name of the company is like, okay, how many people think of, let's use Fringe, right? How many people, when they think of Fringe, they're not thinking of Fringe, they're thinking of Peter.
I think he crushes it online. I love what they do, and I love his vibe. I want one of those jerseys. I'll sport the Fringe logo for the jerseys they wore at HomeGymCon. But he's built a community, and I think even you can see it with his team and his employees. And I have a lot of respect for him. Oh, shout out to the donut bumper plates. I want those too.
There you go. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like one of those things where it's like you associate a brand. Maybe this is not necessarily great because at some point, you know, Peter's going to have, he's going to pass the company on to his kids or whatever. So it's got to be something that can move on generationally. But yeah, you associate a company with a person. And if you don't feel like you know that person and you like them, you're not going to want to buy the stuff. So I love that you guys are starting with this. You know what I mean? I just think that's great. Let's go to the comment section so they don't get mad at me. Said Rob, what's up, man? Wait, aren't you supposed to be teaching school right now, Rob? So you probably, unless you told the kids, hey, go ahead, you gave him an assignment, and then he's in the bathroom right now, the teacher's lounge, whatever. Anyways, good morning. Said Mythic left a lasting impression on me at HomeGymCon. I was very impressed by all their products. He said the bench and J cups are on my radar. Talk about the bench a little bit, because we already showed the graphic of the J cups, and I'll pull the bench up. But go ahead and talk about the bench. Like, what was the problem you were trying to solve when you created the bench, Sean?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, you can kind of see the benches keep getting bigger and bigger and heavier and heavier, and we were just kind of trying to reimagine, how can we do this in a way that is more user friendly? Like, you want all the features, but all of the criticisms of these benches are, oh, it's too heavy, or I can't move it around. And that's true for me too. You know, it's 130 pounds, 150 pounds, like it's a lot. And moving it around after some workouts, it's too much. So we were like, hey, I want a lighter bench in my gym. So how do we pack some of these nice new features into something that's a little smaller, easier to store, easier to, you know, you don't need a huge back pad. You can incline press more easily. The frame's not taking up too much space. So that was the idea behind it.
Okay. What's the throw it right there? Okay, so that's a good one right here. So he says 0 gap, 0 adjustment. That is,
we did say that.
It's interesting to me that how things have advanced, because even 10 years ago, you just felt like you just had to kind of live with the gap in your, if it's an adjustable bench, you just had to live with it. Now it's almost like, it's kind of like the vertical storage thing. Like if your bench doesn't store vertically, then people just kind of look at it like, oh, well, you're just not ready. And it's funny because we also go to HFA, which is obviously more aligned towards the commercial space. And they definitely don't want vertical storage benches, right? Because, and I completely agree with them, because if you store a bench, if you stand a bench up in a commercial gym, somebody will knock it over, somebody will do something dumb with it, right? So I get that. But companies that try to cross over from the commercial space to the home gym space, they don't understand how big a deal vertical storage is, just because that's what we expect. Same thing with the gapless. I'll use your friend, the gapless bench, right? What are some other things that you see as maybe they're cutting edge now, but you think are going to just be like must-haves in terms of benches going forward?
You know, I think I want to touch on something you just said, talking about crossing from commercial into home, because I think one thing we're starting to see is we genuinely believe there is a difference between home gym equipment and commercial equipment, and not just because of the weight rating, but
Correct.
You are starting to see some home gym companies make decisions to design their equipment for commercial equipment. A recent example was spotter arms that didn't have a hole in the back for mag pens. And a lot of the comments were, you'd lose that in a commercial space. And I question, well, it's for home gyms. So a home gym owner wants that mag pen. They're not going to lose their mag pen. So you start to see, like, when you cross over into the commercial space, you're starting to remove things that home gym owners want that a commercial space wouldn't. So I think the vertical storage example was a great one, because you're right, you couldn't do that for a commercial space, but then you're starting to leave your home gym customers behind a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I could come up with so much. So my first job out of college was at a public gym. I worked there for 5 years. And so I saw a lot of things that I draw on whenever I'm looking at home gym equipment now. And I think when people say, like you said, when people think of commercial, they mean durability. They mean high quality. They mean it's designed to handle multiple, hundreds of people a week, or, depending on the size of the gym. But when I look at, if I say home gym versus commercial, one of the first things I think of is how modular is it? Because in the case of like a squat rack, you wouldn't want to attach a lot of things to the squat rack, because now you're going to get people congregating around the squat rack. And I remember when even the way we set up the equipment was designed to get you to come in and funnel you out. Because if everybody just stayed, even the lunch rush, the fire marshal will come shut you down. You have to funnel people through, and you actually hope that people sign up. You hope that everybody who signs up doesn't come, because again, you're going to exceed your building requirements. What the fire code will handle in terms of the number of people in there. You can just see what a gym looks like the first week after New Year's, just for example, and see how crowded it is, right? It would be like that all the time if you started, if everybody started coming. And then whenever you have a piece of equipment that does too many things, you're going to have people congregating there because everybody wants to do a different thing on that piece of equipment, right? So you definitely don't want that. Well, in a home gym, I don't have all that space. So I'm looking for things that are, rack attachable, modular, easy storage. Like this thing, like if you are a commercial gym member, you care nothing about shelving and storage and You're like, what is this? What are you talking to me about this for, right? But it's so huge in the home gym space. It's like, nah, this matters. So yeah, that's a big deal. And I think you have to understand that on an intrinsic level. So I think it's a big deal that you guys are part of the home gym community, designing for the home gym community, right?
Yeah, it's like our leg extension attachment. It's like, yeah, okay, this is obviously a machine everybody knows and likes to use. Okay, let's bring it to your home in a form that we think works well. But then it's not just that, because you're not going to be using that all the time. So, okay, what are you doing with it when you're done? And that was a big
Where does it go when you're done with it? Yes.
Put it out of frame. You'll never see it. It's like, okay,
I'll trip over it. It's like, what is this? That's annoying. Fuego said your height adjusting rack attachments will be a huge game changer. And I can say that, I mean, just because the reality is what it is. How concerned are you that there's somebody in Shenzhen right now trying to make their version of what you made, what you have a patent on?
You know what? People knock off Nike all the time and people still wear the authentic shoes. So I'm not obviously comparing us to Nike, but it's just part of the business. And you have to just take it in stride and keep moving forward. And we can protect our patents in the US, obviously, and no US-based company can knock us off. And there's always people that are going to buy off Alibaba, and that's fine. You know, we just have to do a good job of making good equipment, having great customer service, continuing to iterate, and we'll just keep moving forward. So you just kind of have to accept what the industry is and do your best to stay ahead of it.
Jared said, next to every great man is a great lady. And I was waiting for the perfect comment from you to put that up there. There you go. All right. What's up, Devil Dog? Dean from Black Widow said, good morning, early risers. What's up, man? Let's see here. You guys got a new follower on Instagram. This is a question I'm sure you guys hear all the time, and I'm making a silent bet with myself about what your answer will be. How much will the spotter arms, roller J-cups, and sandwich J-cups cost, and what's the release date?
You have to sign up for the email list.
That is exactly what I thought you were going to say. Almost like nice. Buster Cap, man, I haven't seen you in a minute. Buster Cap 1, thanks for coming by, man. Appreciate you. Stop by more often. But he said, looking forward to seeing the final version of your new bench too. This is a good place to ask you about the feedback you guys got. So obviously people mostly were like, oh, I love it. But I'm sure you guys got some feedback as well, where people are saying, well, what about if it did this? Or it'd be cool if it did this, right? So where are we at in that process in terms of implementing any suggestions that, you know, were worthy of implementing?
So I think our spotter arms are done for sure. Implemented a few changes. The leg extension had quite a few changes. And we have seen all your comments. I read every single DM. I respond to all of them too. So if you're communicating with Mythic in any way, it's me. Sean is an introvert. He is not in the DMs. And
he's in the lab. He doesn't have time to be in the DMs.
Yeah.
And people want this, so you better figure out how to make
it. So everyone's
like,
asking about seated leg curl for our leg extension. And we will provide an update on that very soon. So
you gotta sign up for the website. Go to the website and sign up if you want to get the answer. Was that a good answer? Okay. All right. In fact,
it was a hard no, but I let it marinate with Sean. I just knew that if I planted the seed in a few weeks, he'd come back and be like, okay, I think I've got it. So he did recently said, he's like, there might be a way. So
that's all you needed. So you're saying there's a chance. Yeah. All right. This is I don't know how to categorize this question here. But it's reminiscent of what somebody said to me before, where they were like, all the digital resistance stuff was going to mean like all the, you know, like the conventional barbell and cable stuff is going to go away. And I'm like, I've been lifting weights since 1993 and I've seen things go in cycles. I don't think anything's going to be the death of anything else. But Fuego wants to know, are your products going to spell the death of 5/8 equipment?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, you heard it here first.
We're selling our 5/8 rack because we've got 1-inch adjustments now.
RIP 5/8 equipment. Okay. The 5/8 Society is right now. They're heading to your house to do a protest march outside. So yeah, all right. JB said, "Cool, you guys did CrossFit." He said, "I was a CrossFit junkie many years ago doing WODs off of the website, petitioning people to open up a box in Cincinnati back when Zero existed in the city." That actually, I mean, I got to credit. Obviously, I had a home gym before CrossFit. I remember when CrossFit was started. Heck, I remember when Rogue Fitness started. But I think if not for CrossFit, there are a lot of us who wouldn't have home gyms now, because one thing that CrossFit did was normalize working out at home, which then created a demand for companies to provide the products. Because prior to that, in the bad old days, we were like we looked in the newspaper to find equipment. You're looking in the newspaper classifieds, because let's say a school was updating their weight room, they would post a classified ad and say you can come by and buy this stuff like it's a yard sale, and then you'd buy old stuff from a school, and then it was like, okay, then it was on Craigslist, same general idea, whatever. So all this stuff happened, I would say, because Greg Glassman wrote that thing on the CrossFit main site about the garage gym and how you could set up everything you need at home. So we owe an eternal debt. Let's see here. Oh, that's a good idea. So JB says PK is working on, that's Peter, for those who don't know, Peter from Fringe. He said PK is working on getting his customer service different fitness certifications to better help their customers, and they get a cool perk on top of those sweet jerseys. In fact, I think Peter's cool enough that he probably would get you guys a jersey just because he heard that you guys liked it, you know. Just don't let him talk you into that Brazilian swimwear he likes wearing.
Yeah,
we're not doing that. We're trying to get him to stop doing it. I stand in solidarity with his employees, trying to get him to stop doing it. Okay. Fuego wants to know if you have any plans to manufacture your products in the U.S.
We tried. That was genuinely our first attempt. We were like, we're going to make it in the U.S. And you know, what happens is it's a lot of manufacturers that then go into gym equipment that are able to make it work price-wise, but trying to find third-party manufacturers, you have to understand that the manufacturing industry in the US is very behind. So a lot of these places do very single process manufacturing. So they want to do 1,000 of one piece that is essentially one process. So to make a bench, it ends up having to be sent to 4 or 5 different people, whereas in China, they can do it all in one factory. So we had the bench quoted, and to sell the bench completely made in the US without pads, it would have been $1,600. So it's really not as easy as people think. And you know, I think we tried to talk to 12 different factories. Half of them didn't email us back. Half of them weren't interested. So it's much harder than people think to just make stuff in the US. We tried, we did our best.
Yeah. We spent a few years working on obviously designing products, but also trying to source different manufacturing in North America. Spent a long time on that, and yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I have several friends who make stuff in the US, but it's like you said, it's like one thing. It's not necessarily like all the components to make a bench or whatever, right? It's a lot of moving parts there. All right, we got you another email sign up. Eric said he just put his email into the website. We just answered this, but I'm happy to address it again. Are you planning to add seated leg curls to your bench attachment?
Maybe.
They changed their mind. It was a yes, but then I'm just kidding. Yeah,
I'm not going to guarantee it, but
he's saying there's a chance. JB said the 1-inch adjustable attachments are the perfect home gym product. I'll be swapping a lot of my existing stuff out for these lines when they drop. Okay. Kinsey, what's up? Hey, I sent you a message on Etsy, Kinsey. So drop everything you're doing and go run and answer it right now.
I don't think she knows this, but she was the first creator to make a video in our booth at HomeGymCon. We sat there the entire media block and nobody came by, and we were like, oh my gosh, we're dead in the water. Nobody cares about us. And then she walked by and she's the first one. So we're fans over here.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, shout out to Kinsey. So that's, man. Okay. So first of all, I have to apologize. So media day, I get this bright idea that we're going to spend media day because there's going to be just content creators, right? I said, okay, it's just content creators and brands here today. No like Gen Pop. All right. It sounds like prison. Nobody who's not a content creator. And so I said, well, you know what? I want to do a video where we highlight the people who are coming to HomeGymCon, because as a content creator, I get bored with just doing booth tours and just doing product reviews, right? So I'm like, I'm fascinated with the story of HomeGymCon because I remember when you didn't have any such thing. The closest you could get was the Arnold. If you're a home gym owner, right? And so I said, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to go live on Thursday, which is media day. And we're going to have, and anybody who wants to can come to our live stream and talk about their YouTube channel or their Instagram or whatever. And also, if you're a brand that's there, you come by and talk about why people should come to your booth, right? And I did not do a good enough job of getting that word out. So as a result, while you guys are sitting at your booth wondering why nobody's coming, I'm standing over. I mean, we end up having people come, but I'm at my booth. I'm like, how come more brands aren't coming by to announce their booth, and where you can find them and all that. So yeah, so next year I'm gonna say, right, we're gonna do the same thing again next year. We already talked it over with Anchor. So next year you guys are invited. In fact, you can be the very first ones. You just come over. You're first in line. Just come over and tell everybody why they need to go to Mythic and look at the seated leg curl attachment. All right. See what I did right there? Let's see here. My brother said the WODs were good, and he's saying it takes less equipment to do them, which saves on space as far as CrossFit, which is, I mean, that's one of the things is like, I recognize that there are political reasons for some of the why CrossFit also has this decline. But I can say that CrossFit, one of the things that CrossFit did was normalize actual weight training. So we can, just think about how before CrossFit, people were still doing, women especially were afraid to lift weights. I thought it was ridiculous because you'd see like, I mentioned I was in the Marine Corps. The idea was that women couldn't do pull-ups. Well, now you see people just women just banging out pull-ups. They're doing one-arm pull-ups now. It's like, no, it's just a matter of training. So I think we owe a lot to CrossFit. Let's see here. JB said, without 1-inch adjustments, I get the choice of hitting the bar on my spotter every time I hit full depth, or go one hole lower and risk certain death when I fail the lift. Well, I don't want you risking certain death. So you're saving lives out there, Sean.
Good.
All right. You should have, you know what? Now you got me thinking. So because you're saving lives, you should be able to put a siren on top of your truck so that anytime you're delivering one of your attachments to somebody, it's almost like you're an ambulance. You're like a public service vehicle. You're an emergency vehicle. No. We got to get this to this guy's house. He's about to squat. Go ahead.
If you're local to us, we'll
hand deliver your equipment.
Yes, I'm telling you, with the siren and everything. So I know you probably got to apply for that, but just go ahead and let them know that Garage Gym Life said that we think it's a good idea. You should get a siren, a little decal you can put on the side of your car. Now, you don't want to just drive around like that. So you need the removable siren.
Yep.
So let's say you're at the grocery store. Oh, somebody needs a power rack.
Sure.
Let's go. We're on the case. Go ahead. I think you should do that. I really do. All right. My brother wants to know if I can drop the link to your site. Yes, I can. Let's go right here. I'll do this. And then, because I'm that kind of helpful person, I also put it in the live chat right here. I'm happy to do it. And I'll also post that link in the description of the video. So anybody who's watching on replay, shout out to the replay gang. You guys can all go there. So if you're watching on replay, just go to the video description and you'll see a clickable link there as well. So while I leave that up a little bit, Ashley said, I'm bummed I didn't get to their booth at HomeGymCon. I've heard so many good things. I think that a lot of people are going to keep on saying that, but one thing that happens because, as HomeGymCon recedes further and further into the rear view, and you said you're going to keep on like trickling out the information, right? Is there any fear though that if you don't actually release a product by Christmas that some of the momentum will be lost?
For our sanity.
Yeah, I mean, I think the home gym community has been used to pre-orders and long wait times. So I hope they extend the grace a little bit to us. We're doing our best. Sean will actually be in China in a few weeks, doing a factory visit. So yeah, we're doing our best. This is life consuming for us. So hopefully they're excited enough about the products to understand that this is a very long and difficult process. So yeah, we'll just fingers crossed on that one.
What about making something simple that you could manufacture in the US? You know what I mean? Like a single component part. You know what I'm talking about? Because I mean, I could think of something like stuff off the top of my head. I'm not gonna say it now, but I would tell you guys like 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 offline, be like, okay, well, what about this? Or you know what I mean? But have you thought about that? I say, well, something that's single component, not a lot of moving parts, but something that people could use. That way you at least have something that you can say, oh, well, by the way, we made this.
I don't like our products kind of come through. We don't design products because we think they'll sell well. I mean, that's obviously a consideration we take, but we design products because we're inspired and we are able to innovate on them. So it's not, I think maybe I'm sure there's something, but like, I'm like racking my brain.
Oh, there is.
I can't think of anything because it's like
I could tell you, but I don't want to tell everybody else.
We'll have to text after.
So,
but
all right, I'll just tell you, like, I was in my gym yesterday and I was trying to get a solution. I was trying to do something and I couldn't do it. I said, man, I wish there was this. Right. And it's literally like a single component product. It just doesn't exist. And I was like, oh, well, what about this thing? So, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'll tell you guys afterwards.
Small manufacturers that make their stuff here in the US, and honestly, they can probably do it better than us. So
okay,
we'll punt that idea to them.
Okay. GoBro Athletics, what's up, man? He said we tried so hard to get our bar manufactured in the US. He said, talked to multiple different manufacturers here. We just can't do it. And Kinsey said, I care. I've been working on the footage since you were my first as well. So the footage looks so bad because it was my first time using my Pocket 4. I'm just jealous because you got a Pocket 4. When I tried to get one, they weren't available in the US yet. And then I kind of like shelved it because I was doing other stuff. But definitely, I can't wait to get my Pocket 4. GoBro Athletic says you have to do your best to pull them into the booth. It was out of my comfort zone, but no shame. You have a great product. Just let people know you have a great product.
Sean's parents were the magnets. They were the most amazing, wonderful people to have with us. Could not be more grateful for them. And Sean's dad went fishing. He would stand there on that corner and he'd be like, you want to come look at some equipment? So again, Sean's an introvert and I get overwhelmed. So we would just watch him bring people in. Like, it was amazing. And he's such a kind, like, engaging man. So he's just great to talk to. So I don't know what we would have done without them, honestly. And our friend Brandy was there. We could have never done HomeGymCon without the help of our friends and family. And it just was exhausting and shocking. Like, I don't know how people were going out after the con.
Yeah,
we're at home just dead.
Yeah, we went to sleep. BTC 4020 wants to know, do you have a product that would allow 1-inch adjustments for strap safeties?
I believe we're doing flip down.
Yeah,
we'll do flip down.
No plans yet. We're slowly building out. The benefit, kind of now is like, okay, we've had a few home gyms. We've seen different products, made a few different products, but now, okay, we're starting this company kind of from scratch. We can build everything and anything, but that means we can kind of do it in a way that we think makes the most sense. So that was like the basis for our rack system too. It's like, okay, fully modular, you maximizing the space inside the rack,
flush mount.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, what can we do? J-cups, safeties, that would be like the best version of, or better versions than what they are right now.
Okay. JB said, I forgot to ask this when I met you in person. How long have you guys been developing or thinking of these specific products? Because I imagine a while since it didn't exist prior.
Yeah, it's been like 2.5 years. And it's funny because we saw a comment that was like, Oh, a gapless bench. It's been done before. And we see that comment. We hear it. It's been done before, but not by us. And we're going to take that mindset to a lot of different products, because I genuinely believe that Sean could take any existing product on the market and make it better. That's how much I have faith in his engineering and design skills. I don't think there's any equipment that is just 100%. It cannot be improved or iterated on.
Whether or not that's true, we'll see.
Yeah.
With that level of belief, because she said that kind of thing multiple times during this interview, with that level of belief, you find that it kind of stretches you a little bit beyond, you know what I mean?
The best thing about the partnership is that I understand the technical stuff, and I can picture, okay, this is what I want to do. I can start to imagine how it would be built in my head, but then of course, naturally, I'm also thinking of the limitations. I'm going, no, it can never be done like that. It couldn't be done like that. And she's over here, well, I want it to do that, so figure it out. I'm like, okay, fine. Keep thinking about it.
Yeah. It's kind of like like a coach. Like the coach sees an athlete and they're like, oh, I know you can do this. And they see more out of you than you can see out of yourself. It's like, so without that coach, you never do it, because you never even try. I got you.
Yeah. Right. And you need a non-technical person in the product stuff too, because there will always be ideas that you're like, well, why would you even think to combine those two things? You're like, oh, okay, you know what? We might be able to do something with that.
100%. It's like my wife is like that, where there are certain products you just like, because she sees it from like the standpoint of somebody who's like she likes working out, but she's not like, she hates aggressive knurling. There are certain home gym staple things that she just not into. And as a result, it ends up being like a better product, whenever she's giving her feedback. Let's talk about, as we get ready to wrap up, you see that I told you the hour was going to pass quick, and I said, I don't think we'll get through all these questions. What's the next step? Because like we talked about, you had the improvements and all that kind of stuff. Is the next step going to be to get stuff in the hands of the content creators? Or because I know like, Mark Rosenberg, Deadliest Lift, he's already got his claim on one of your products, I believe.
Yeah.
What did you say? It said the word on the street said he's getting the first pair of your height adjusting spotter arms.
Did he put the word out?
No,
she did. Yeah.
Well, the problem is I want to give free equipment to everyone. There was a guy on Discord who's like, oh, I'm in Australia. I really want your leg extension. And I'm like, man, if that guy's willing to pay for postage, he can just have one. And Sean's like, there you go. Stop promising.
Just stop it. Yeah.
But Mark gets it because he came by the booth. We were breaking down and he was like, I just got a 1-inch rack. Can I please buy these prototypes? And I was so shocked and flattered that someone liked our product so much they would want the prototype. And so for him to just immediately jump in and like have that belief and want the product, I was like, you know what, you cannot have these, but you can have the first pair. And I meant it. He is getting the first pair because I was just so shocked and flattered that he would be willing to even take the prototypes. So I guess that's the way to get free product, is next year at HomeGymCon, ask to buy our prototypes.
Yeah. So, okay, don't do that because, how many people are going to show up asking for the prototype? No, I mean, what I meant was, okay, so there's a beta test element that you'll get, even if you did it, because I think Wait It Out did this, where they sent the product out, but instead of sending one out to everybody, they said, okay, I'm sending one out, and when you're done, send it to the next person. And we'll tell you the address and we'll pay the shipping for it to go to the next person. And so this pair of plates made their way around the United States. And so everybody still got to do their content, but it just wasn't, they only had to make one set of plates, right? So they also got the advantage of the feedback from the beta test. So that's what I'm asking is like, okay, next we're going to beta test, or it's going to just be, okay, we've launched everything. Now let's get it in the hands of the content creators so that as they're putting the videos out, it's already available for people to purchase. Or have you thought that far down the road?
For the rack attachments, we think those have been well tested. We're confident on the final designs. Those will not be on pre-order. So we will do that initial production order. We will get the units in. We will send out units to content creators. We will have a sign up list. We will definitely prioritize all the creators that were willing to come make videos of us at HomeGymCon because we're so flattered for their time because we're nobodies. And also, again, there can only be so many free pairs of spotter arms we can send out, and J-cups. And then the leg extension has gone through design changes, so that will come in and that will get beta tested by some people. And then once we're confident on that, it'll be the same thing. We'll do probably a smaller run, but that will probably have to put on pre-order.
Gotcha. Okay. JB says, I got to apologize to both of y'all. I made a schedule on Thursday. I had 3:30 to 4 for Anchor, 5 to 5:30 for Mythic. Said calling out now next year. The first 2 HomeGymCon visits are Mythic and Garage Gym Life. All right. Yeah, man. Come on. We'll be there. Fuego says, I can't wait to see the extreme durability test. I mean, that's got a long-standing tradition from when Peter shot the medicine ball. Remember that? It was the Immortal Wall Ball where he shot it with a pistol and then they dropped it out of a plane.
Didn't was it Tier? What is that company? They dropped a dumbbell from a plane.
Yeah, I'm just like, are we aware of like whose farm is that you're dropping that over? You know, I'm like, you understand that when you drop it, like the plane's going fast. It feels like it's going slow, but it's going fast. So you dropped it over here, but it's going to land over there. I was like, I don't know about these.
I'll tell you, Sean, his job after rep was working and doing basically how to explain it?
I did structural design for overhead cranes. So
bridge cranes, moving big pieces of airspace equipment. So his ability now to do the simulations and the digital load testing and feeling very confident with the weight rating of our products, very high. He got this experience there. And he's already thinking of ways to rig up something that we can do in person of a drop test on the spotter arms. So we will test in person, but also he's able to, from the get-go, run the simulations and make sure the products can stand up and have proper weight ratings.
Yeah, we'll do all the factory testing too, but we'll definitely do a video dropping our, some weight on our spotter arms. Just gotta get on Facebook Marketplace and buy some barbells.
Yeah, if you're in Denver, we keep buying equipment in the Denver area off FBM to use for stuff. So it's funny, Sean, they'll come to our gym and be like, wow, this is quite the setup.
It's the largest collection of bent barbells I've ever seen. Okay. That's hilarious.
Yeah, we bought a bench off there for HomeGymCon and the guy started explaining it. I was like, I know.
It's cool. All right. A couple more questions. I'll let you guys get out of here. Carp wants to know if you guys will be offering colors or will everything come black?
So I think for the spotter arms, people seem to mostly want black and white. And then we already have the color palette picked out for our benches and racks. Your standard black, red, blue, green, white. We really, really like the hues that we've picked. Want to obviously establish all the products around those specific color codes. So yes, big fan of color.
Okay. Sean said my mind was still blown with the resistance curve of your leg extension. And Kinsey said she doesn't have spotter arms because she's been waiting for something like this. Okay, this is a unique offer. All right. I've never seen anybody shoot their shot quite like this, and I love it. Carp said, I'll send you a free barbell if you send me some spotter arms. There you go. Quid pro quo. That's hilarious right there. I'm going to stop right there. That's hilarious. Okay. One more time, let everybody know where they need to go in order to keep up with what you guys have going on now, and also where they need to go to sign up for your email list.
Yeah, mythicequipment.com. Get on the email list. Mythic Equipment, Instagram. DM us. I love chatting with everyone all day. So catch us online.
Awesome. I appreciate you guys being here. And this was a whole lot of fun, as I thought it would be. You guys have an open invite. Come back anytime. In fact, when you are ready to debut something, bring it. Come on back and we can debut it on here. And I know that we'll get a ton of feedback because this was a whole lot of fun. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Oh, yeah, this was great. Thank you. You guys take it easy.
All
right. So that was Sean and Madison, or alphabetically, Madison and Sean, from Mythic and I am excited to see what they bring out. And I'm also excited to see how what they make is going to change the home gym community, and I know it'll be for the better. Let's see here. Carb says he's gonna send him a name brand bench too, not just some cheap photo. That's hilarious right here. JP says, who needs Facebook Marketplace? We got Garage Gym Life Marketplace. You know, ironically enough, I got a bunch of stuff downstairs I'm trying to sell, and I couldn't sell it on Facebook Marketplace. I am literally about, so like my bells are still cable stack. I'm about to just, if the person who we got one person we're waiting to hear back if they want it. If not, I'm going to take it down to the local Played Against Sports, and I'll probably just make a video and say, hey, this stuff is all here. This Played Against Sports. If you want it, come buy it from there. I'll just take it over there, put it on consignment, and y'all can just go down to that Played Against Sports and buy it. That's hilarious. You said Garage Gym Life Marketplace. All right. So we are at the final segment. It is one more thing before we go. It's almost over, but I got one more thing to say. Here it goes. Strictly speaking, it's two things. First thing is we are looking for a new t-shirt vendor. The criteria: one, you cannot be from some remote Indian village. No villages in Pakistan or Bangladesh that want to, I'm not interested in that. Don't reach out to me on Instagram telling me just don't. It's got to be a reputable business. You have to be on Shopify for various reasons. And I prefer a t-shirt vendor that's already in the fitness apparel industry, because we want you, we require that you carry t-shirt sizes up to 5XL. Okay. Because one side effect of lifting weights is you get bigger. And I know a lot of people who could wear a 5X, and I want to be able to serve all of my friends, not just the small ones. All right. So, and then also, I don't want to have to convince you that sport bras are something you need to carry. So we're looking for another t-shirt vendor that we can use to carry Garage Gym Life branded stuff. And you got to be on Shopify so that we know that you can actually fulfill the orders if they come in, right? 100% cotton. No, because the 100% cotton actually isn't the softest until you've watched it a gajillion times. But we prefer Bella Canvas, just to let you know. So you can look up Bella Canvas and it'll tell you what the exact breakdown is of those shirts. It's not 100% cotton. I think they have like bamboo in there as well. But yeah, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you what the exact breakdown is. So just look up Bella Canvas. And in fact, you got to be a t-shirt vendor, because I want you to already know about Bella Canvas when I bring it up. But yeah, so you got to have sports bras, headbands, shorts, leggings, all that stuff. I want you to already carry it. And so I don't have to get you to carry it, so then we can do this, right? I want you to be an established brand that's willing to do a partnership with us. But if you are, go ahead and shoot out an email, garagegymlifellc@gmail.com. If you have to DM me on Instagram, points off for that. I'll just be honest with you. But you can DM at Garage Gym Life if you are like a smaller up and coming t-shirt brand, as long as you know, or apparel brand, as long as you know you can fulfill these orders. Don't make promises that you can't keep, because that's going to make me angry, because then you'll make me break promises to people, and I don't like that. But I would love to be able to partner with a smaller brand and grow with them. Now, what I learned this week. So this week I learned the value of pacing myself. I had a ton of obstacles to overcome. Naomi told you guys a little bit about it earlier. Just trying to fight all of my battles at once just started to get overwhelming, to the point where I just stopped everything, closed my eyes, and just took time to breathe. And I was like that for at least 30 minutes. So I just said, okay, I'm not going to do anything. I don't care how big the problem is. I don't care if the problem is still there. I'm going to stop, close my eyes, breathe, and I'm going to force myself to relax for 30 minutes. And that's all I did. Then once I calmed down, I started chipping away at each problem in snowball order. So That's not order of importance. Instead, what that means is I picked the smallest problem that was the easiest to fix, and I fixed it. Then I took that momentum and I went to the next biggest problem, fixed it, and the next biggest problem and fixed it, and so on and so forth. Until I had done everything I could. And then when I got to the problem that I couldn't fix before it got dark, I said, all right, we're stopping there. And I punted it to today with a clear conscience. I learned this approach years ago, and it served me well over the years, because I find that tackling the easiest problem lets you build what I call emotional momentum, right? So, I mean, I do that. I have a to-do list for every day, and I'll usually put something very easy to accomplish at the top. It might be, I mean, the bar is very low. It may be brush your teeth, right? Wake up, brush your teeth. Wake up, make the bed, something like that, right? Because then you start feeling like I function better emotionally when I feel like I'm accomplishing things. So if I start accomplishing stuff, it's like it starts to fill up my emotional gas tank, right? Fuels the fire. And so whenever that's what I did when I had that all these problems all at once, a whole bunch of stuff. And as a result, I was able to get through it. But trying to fix everything all at once, that wasn't working for me. So I don't know what your process is, but if you don't have one, I'm suggesting that one to you. Just start with, take all the problems. You can write them down if you need to, but pick the one that's the easiest to solve and just solve it. And then you'll be able to use that emotional momentum, move on to the next one. Because if you try to fix the hardest one first, which is what people usually try to do, I'll just tackle the big one and then the rest of them will be easy after that. If you do it that way and you're not able to solve the problem in one day, you end up still having that problem hanging over your head, plus all the ones that you put to the side so you can work on that one, plus all the problems from the next day that'll be added to those. So I just prefer the method a lot better. Next week, this Friday, we're supposed to have Friday. Let me make sure, because we said we're going to have Harry on for Curl Timber. Let me make sure he signed up for this coming Friday. That was what the deal was. So that's the 28th. Yes. All right. Good. Success. So next Friday, we're going to have Home Gym Harry on. He's going to talk about Curl Timber. And you'll be able to so bring all your questions about Curl Timber, everything like that to him, and he will answer them at that time. You guys keep on posting your pics on Instagram, tagging me when you watch the show. That's really encouraging, especially when I have weeks like the past one. Mailbag Monday is 3:15 p.m. this coming Monday. So I'll see you guys for that one. And we got one more comment. JB said, if the new vendor fails, let them know it'll earn a recliner of rage segment. They will act right. I hope so, man. You'd be amazed at some of the issues. I don't know. You want to? Yeah, I'm not even gonna go down there. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys' patience sticking with us while we try to work through this. But this kind of stuff is why we did a soft launch of the store instead of kind of broadcasting it out, because we want to try to work out all the bugs before we kind of really take the store live. So appreciate everybody's patience, and thank you all for all your help in getting it going. Everybody make sure that tonight you go watch CBS TCR, because Carlos will be live streaming something and open up boxes. All right. Anyway, see y'all next time. Keep stacking days.